Emo, Luoying, and Su Jingwen stood at the top of a mountain outside Mou City watching Mou City from a distance and the two rivers next to it. Further beyond was a boundless grassy plain. They enjoyed this precious moment of tranquility. The air here is really good. Su Jingwen stood by Emo and looked at the beautiful blue skies and environment. She felt completely relaxed with the light breeze passing by. Emo and Luoying smiled but didn't talk. This was the place they lived at now. Emo had been setting this up many years ago. If Ning Qingxue and Song Yangzhu weren't in solitary cultivation, Emo wanted to call them out as well. Although Su Jingwen started cultivation last, she had the highest cultivation level. Luoying also reached hollow spirit state. Only Song Yangzhu and Ning Qingxue were still at nascent soul state. Emo was truth realization state now and might immortal ascension one day. They knew that their talent was a little worse and so they used all time possible to cultivate. They didn't want to be still staying at Mou City when Emo immortal ascended. Now that Mou Lake spirit chi was very dense to an extent that even 9-star sect couldn't hope to compare, no one wanted to stop cultivation. This will be our home from now on, Su Jingwen exclaimed once again. She had never lived so well before. In Ninghai, she fell in love with Emo and didn't know. When she knew, she didn't dare to say it. When Emo left, she finally realized and crossed countless mountains and rivers just to find Emo and tell him that she really liked him. Even now, she still remembers the bar where she got drunk after hearing news of Emo getting married. Qi Wanqing took her away that time. Thinking about this, she suddenly wanted to know how was Qi Wanqing. Compared to her, she was so much happier. She found Luoyu City and the small world, then Luoyu Continent and Jiangchuan City. Finally, she met him on that snowing day. Don't think that much. Luoying saw Su Jingwen's eyes were melancholic and knew what she was thinking as she held her hand. It was as though every woman who was with him endured countless hardship. Mu Xiaoyun, Song Yangzhu, Ning Qingxue. Seeing that Luoying seemed to be affected by her mood, Su Jingwen suddenly smiled. Sister Susu, I actually feel very happy. I'm thinking about happy things. Just like last time, if I wasn't with Sister Susu, I would never expect you to be more crazy than me. Hearing this, Emo blushed. Luoying was older than Su Jingwen but couldn't accept such blunt words and also blushed. Emo suddenly felt a sense of satisfaction. He brought the two into his arms. No one said a thing now, they just enjoyed this moment of tranquility. The good times after hardship were more precious. All of them knew that Emo's power kept increasing through battles and seeking fortunes. If Emo stopped to cultivate, he would perhaps be the weakest. So, they all knew that they could stay and cultivate at Mou City but Emo couldn't. Emo was more powerful than them but every step he made, he paid countless times the price they did. It was because of this that every time Emo came back, even someone like Luoying would open herself up. Mou City wasn't just a city now, it had a new age. It was not only a symbol but also an anticipation. After the formations were set up, all the people in Luoyu came to the agreement that they'll use the earthly way of recording time. The first year was MOU 2000. This way of remembering time changed the chaotic and messy notion of time on Luoyu continent and was soon adopted throughout the entire South P state and eventually the entire Luoyu continent. Ever since now, Luoyu's calendar united. Su Jingwen leaned in Emo's arms and really wanted to ask why he named Luoyu City the same as Luoyu continent, but she resisted that question. She didn't know if Qingxue asked Emo, but she didn't ask because she felt it was hard for Emo to answer. Su Jingwen, I'm going to leave Mou City for quite a while this time, but don't worry, I'll be fine. Emo didn't want to say this, but he knew he had to go see Silver Moon Pilking and Guantian Pilking. He owed these two former city lords a great deal. I know, go. Luoying knew Emo too well, and she really didn't worry about Emo much now. He had Golden Page World, and even Truth Realization State Peak Stage was no match for him. In the entire Luoyu continent, there weren't many who could threaten him, much less South Peace State. She also knew that Emo wasn't going to gulp down the hatred of Gu Wenqian and them being killed. Before he went to Demon Prison Forbidden Grounds, he would definitely annihilate Lightning Cloud Sect and Infinity Sect. Emo indeed thought so. There was another reason he wanted to annihilate these two sections. He didn't know how long he would go for, and although MOU City was very safe, but there were only 2 truth realization state cultivators. Even if they didn't dare to come to MOU City, they were still a threat. In fact, Yemo wanted the Pill City to come get revenge, that way he could annihilate Pill City too, but they did nothing about losing 11 truth realization state cultivators. Thinking about this, Su Jingwen said in confusion, "The Pill City is really strange. They still haven't done anything up until now." Ji Qianbei said that the Pill City would come for retribution for sure. Yemo smiled. Even if the Pill City came, MOU City does not fear them. With Ji Qianbei manning the formations, any of you can use formation to control them. The dusk sun was bloody, hanging high above Lightning Cloud Mountain, seeming pitiful. Yet under such sun, there was not a single person to be seen outside Lightning Cloud Mountain. Yemo dominantly came back to MOU City and killed 11 Pill City Truth Realization State cultivators, including Shui Yi, who had Immortal artifact. News of this spread through the entire South Peace State in a day. Even the most distant place cultivators heard of this. For some low-grade cultivators, Yemo was level 9 Pill King didn't shock them too much. After all, it was too far from them. But killing 11 Truth Realization State cultivators in a row, everyone knew this. Outside the Lightning Cloud Mountain was dead silent, but that didn't mean there were no people at Lightning Cloud Sect. How could they not have heard of the news? In fact, this wasn't what shocked them the most. It was that after Yemo did that, Pill City didn't react at all. This was the most unbelievable thing. Pill City was a place where Truth Realization State were plenty like dogs, and Disaster Transformation State walked all over the streets. Yet this power didn't even say anything. This was too abnormal. Plus, Yemo said cockily that Pill City only had one chance of revenge. But if Pill City went to MOU City, Pill City would be erased from South Peace State. Because the Pill City was so quiet, Lightning Cloud Sect was more worried because everyone in South Peace State knew that the next place Yemo would go was Lightning Cloud Sect and Infinity Sect. In the meeting hall of Lightning Cloud Sect, the scene was dead silent. One of the 4 Truth Realization State cultivators of Lightning Cloud Sect was killed by Lu Wuhu, and then the Demon Prison Forbidden Grounds incident occurred, so one went there. Now, the 9-star sect Lightning Cloud Sect only had 2 Truth Realization State cultivators left. Tianji, you started this. You think of a way. A Truth Realization State level 5 said coldly. This was Lightning Cloud Sect paid Elder Peng Li. Tianji was silent like a dormant beetle. If he knew that Yemo could reach such a powerful level in such a short time, he wouldn't do anything even if Mortiao Aofing were killed. Although he really wanted to argue back that Elder Peng was the first to agree to stopping Yemo's flying ship, he didn't dare to. His power was too low. The other Truth Realization State level 8 knew that it was pointless even if they killed Tianji now. He coughed and just wanted to speak when the meeting hall rattled. The Truth Realization State level 8 and Peng Li's face changed. They scanned their spirit sense out and saw a young Truth Realization State cultivator outside the formation of Lightning Cloud Sect. He had a thick purple kitchen knife in his hands. Clearly he was the one attacking the Lightning Cloud Sect formation. Yemo, Peng Li said in a shiver, and his heart sunk. Martial brother Ji Ming. Peng Li looked at the Truth Realization State level 8. How could he not fear? Yemo killed 11 Truth Realization State cultivators from Pill City. There was 1 Truth Realization State level 7 and 1 Truth Realization State peak stage within low-grade Immortal artifact. Even with that power, they were slaughtered clean by Yemo. When he stopped Yemo's flying ship, he even killed a cauldron-filling state cultivator. The Lightning Cloud Sect had sect defense formation, but Yemo was said to be a level 9 formation grandmaster. He set up the formation of MOU City, and in the battleground, he easily trapped Pill City Truth Realization State peak stage Shui Yi. Let's go out first. Ji Ming was clearly more composed than Peng Li. Outside Lightning Cloud Sect, Yemo hacked again with Zhisu. Cultivation essence burst out and Zhisu brought a piercing ray, hacking on the Lightning Cloud Sect defense formation. Crack. Yemo knew he hacked open a crevice of this formation. To be honest, for a formation grandmaster like Yemo, he didn't need to attack like a savage, but thinking about Ji Wenqian being killed, he was furious. Only this way would reduce his anger. The Lightning Cloud Sect disciples came out and watched Yemo attack the defense formation by himself, but no one dared to go out. There was even crystal ball recording of Emo slaughtering the 11 truth realization state cultivators. City Lord Yi, please stop. Feng Jiming quickly called. Lightning Cloud sect defense formation was tough, but it couldn't stand Yemo's powerful attacks. Emo was a formation grandmaster. Every attack targeted the weak spot of the sect defense formation. Emo didn't seem to hear it as countless purple sword rays swept out of Zisu. Illusion Cloud Division Strike. The formation was already covered in cracks, and now that these countless sword rays attacked, the formation completely cracked apart. Feng Jiming looked bitterly at this crippled sect defense formation. It has always been them who did this to others, only them shattering other people's sect defense formation, but today, the same fate landed upon them. They were a 9-star sect, and yet no one dared to say anything about their formation being shattered. There were thousands of Lightning Cloud sect members behind Feng Jiming and Peng Li. Some of them clenched their fists and fury spewed out of their eyes. They were waiting for an order to charge up together and tear Emo apart. Feng Jiming suddenly thought, where is the sect leader Wang Chuanhe? He subconsciously asked, Marshal Niece Jianu. Where is sect leader Wang? The vice sect leader Jiang Jianu suddenly woke up and immediately realized what was going on. He said bitterly, sect leader Wang had left for 6 days. He said he was going to help out at the demon prison Forbidden Grounds. 6 days? Emo slaughtered the Pill City Truth Realization State peak stage 7 days ago, and Wang Chuanhe happened to leave 6 days ago. Almost everyone realized what was going on. The sect leader of a 9-star sect abandoned his sect and ran off on his own. Peng Li's eyes were red. Why didn't he think of this? City Lord Yi, I started this, you killed my disciple Tian Aofing, of course I'm gonna kill you. Since I'm not a match for you, I'm willing to be killed. I hope you can let go of Lightning Cloud sect and the 1,000 inner sect members. Unexpectedly, Tianji came out to admit his wrongs. Emo dazed. This Tianji seemed to be quite righteous and hot-blooded. Even though he knew he was dead for sure, but it was quite significant of him saying this. But then, Emo realized he was wrong. The Lightning Cloud sect disciples heard this and all released their magic artifact in fury, as though if he attacked, these inner sect members would all charge up. Looking at Tianji's glimmering eyes, he immediately realized Tianji's intention. He knew he was dead for sure, so he spoke out, and thus, he would get the sympathy and support of all the inner sect members. If he really attacked, then the sect members might attack Emo and he would have a chance to escape in the chaos. Tianji, you're harming others and yourself. Now you've harmed the entire Lightning Cloud sect. I Zhongwu said before, you're an idiot. Now I really do seem to be right, you want to bring the entire Lightning Cloud sect inner sect members to fight with you. Another elder spoke out. Tianji interrupted, since you don't believe me, I will sacrifice myself for Lightning Cloud sect first. Even if I die, I don't want to see someone break the sect doors of Lightning Cloud sect. Since there is no hot-blooded disciple, I will be the first. Seeing Tianji release his magic artifact, those hot-blooded Lightning Cloud sect cultivators charged at Emo. Even Tianji was surpassed by them. He was disaster transformation state level 1, and clearly he shouldn't be behind them, but he was. Emo sneered and raised his hands. Countless lightning swords rained down, and those nascent soul state, hollow spirit state, and a few golden core state cultivators were all killed. They all turned to dust. Tianji thought there would be a few hundred to go up, but only 10s went up. He overestimated his charisma. Feng Jiming and Peng Li took in a cold breath. They knew the stories were true. With the power his lightning sword, and if Emo's domain was in great completion, he really could kill 11 truth realization state cultivators. Feng Jiming was thinking about how to preserve the Lightning Cloud sect, while Peng Li was thinking about running. Tianji dazed and felt cold suddenly. Before he could react, a cultivation essence giant hand grabbed him. Qian Bei, forgive me? Tianji couldn't help and said this. Immediately, the sect members looked at him in contempt. He only regretted not killing Emo before he grew. Emo's cultivation essence giant hand crushed and Tianji turned to nothing. Seeing all the people Emo killed, Feng Jiming was certain he was no match for Emo and could only hold in his fury and say, "You've already killed Tianji and broken our sect formation. It should be fine, right?" Emo sneered before. Lightning Cloud Sect Truth Realization State Cultivator stopped Jiling Qianbei's flying ship and killed more than 10 people, destroying Jiling Qianbei's body and killing my MOU Pil King Gu Wanqian, as well as a few Disaster Transformation State and Cauldron Filling State. Sword Valley Hollow Spirit State Elder. Do you think that's it? Hearing this, Feng Jiming knew things wouldn't resolve today, so he sneered and released half a sword, calling out, "Even if Lightning Cloud Sect is annihilated, we will maintain the honor of our sect." Seeing this, all the cultivators of Lightning Cloud Sect released their magic artifact. Peng Li knew that he would only have a sliver of chance if Emo was trapped. Just when Peng Li was about to release his magic artifact, he found the space around him was restricted. Peng Li immediately realized that Yemo's domain was really in great completion. No wonder the Pill City Truth Realization State cultivators were killed. This domain was too scary. Yemo had long disliked Peng Li and attacked him first. Seeing that Yemo aimed him first, Peng Li was scared soulless. He ran his cultivation essence like crazy, wanting to break free from Yemo's domain. But his power compared to Yemo was too weak. Even if Yemo didn't use Zisu, he wouldn't be able to escape, much less Yemo used Zisu. Illusion Cloud Hua Mountain Strike. The purple ray flashed and Peng Li couldn't even resist as he watched the purple ray cut into his body. After Peng Li was killed, the countless magic artifact attacked Yemo. However, the battle of cultivators couldn't be made up with numbers. When the difference in power was to a certain extent, numbers were useless. Although there were a lot of magic artifact attacking Yemo, they slowed down in his domain. When Zisu hacked at Feng Jiming, countless lightning sword flashed out again into the crowd. Feng Jiming was Truth Realization State level 8 and broke free the moment Yemo killed Peng Li. He released his domain and his magic artifact attacking Yemo. This was just a broken sword tip. Yemo didn't care at first, but when it was in front of him, it suddenly released a terrifying pressure. What was this? He saw a magic artifact he didn't understand and immediately released Octagonal Cauldron. Rumble. Zisu and the sword tip collided. However, that sword tip actually didn't get destroyed. It brought a sharp howl, releasing more dangerous power. However, Feng Jiming spat blood from the cultivation essence backlash. However, Zisu was also stopped by the sword tip. Feng Jiming didn't retreat and instead took a step forward. He slapped on his head many times. It seemed very funny, but Yemo noticed that with each slap, Feng Jiming's body thinned down a little, and an extra level of lightning appeared on the sword tip. Feeling this was eerie, Yemo decided to dodge it first and then kill Feng Jiming. Watching Yemo retreat, Feng Jiming showed an sardonic, cruel smile. Yemo retreated and immediately felt things were wrong. Feng Jiming didn't use his domain, but his body was slowed. Yemo frowned. Seeing the increasingly dense lightning at the sword tip, Yemo felt uneasy. Thus, he stopped retreating and hacked at the sword tip with Zisu again. At this moment, Feng Jiming was extremely bony. He yelled again, seeing Yemo attack the sword tip. With this, he completely exploded. The cultivators nearby him were all disintegrated. Even the vice sect leader Jiang Jianu didn't escape this fate. At the same time, a faint glow charged out of his body and into the sword tip. With this, the sword tip suddenly expanded and then completely exploded. Rumble. A huge explosion sounded. Yemo felt a huge force strike his octagonal cauldron and countless sword tip shards split out. However, they instantly formed a lightning dragon. The roar of the dragon sounded quite similar to Feng Jiming's voice. Rumble. The lightning dragon rammed the octagonal cauldron with more force than the self-destruct before. Even Yemo couldn't take this terrifying ram. The octagonal cauldron was smashed flying, but the lightning dragon turned into sparks and most of them hit Yemo. Yemo almost spat some blood, but his powerful God-state body refinement allowed him to calm his body in 2 seconds. Then, he took back his octagonal cauldron. The sword tip had turned into nothing. It made Yemo a little messy, but it didn't injure him. If Feng Jiming was alive, he would never believe Yemo was completely fine, but he couldn't see this anymore. Yemo frowned. He really didn't understand. The difference between him and Feng Jiming was huge. Even if a few Feng Jiming attacked him together, he could kill them, but what was the broken sword? Yemo didn't keep thinking and looked outside. 2 figures appeared before Yemo. Are you bewildered that Feng Jimings is far from a match to you, but his self-destruction almost injured you? A crisp voice sounded. Emo greet Shan Chen Bei, martial sister Lin. Wan Bei don't understand indeed. Please enlighten me, Shan Chen Bei. Emo saluted with his fists. It was clear Dream Mosque's Shan Bingfeng and her disciple Ling Xiaoshuang. In such a short time, Ling Xiaoshuang was Hollow Spirit State Level 1. Her cultivation speed was faster than Ning Qingxue and just below Luoying. Emo, I saw right indeed, the Soar into Sky Tablet and the Annihilation Divine Damnation. Now, you can challenge a 9-star sect by yourself. Sai, you've indeed grown so quickly. Shan Bingfeng exclaimed. Wan Bei thanked Chen Bei for helping. Emo said politely. If it wasn't for her, he wouldn't go to the Ice God Forbidden Grounds and would lose out on some fortune. Shan Bingfeng smiled. It's your great fortune and perseverance. I just helped a little. Then, Shan Bingfeng said, City Lord Yi, on my account, can you let go of the rest of the people? Emo already knew she probably came here for this. Emo didn't mind. With his lightning sword attacks and Feng Jiming's self-destruction, there were only about 200-300 people left. Seeing that all cultivators cauldron-filling state and above were killed, Emo didn't want to disagree with her, so he nodded sure. But the Lightning Cloud sect must be disbanded from now on. Shan Bingfeng nodded with approval and said to Emo, Then why don't you say it yourself? Emo knew what she meant. She wanted the Lightning Cloud sect disciples to know that Emo let them go, not her. Emo didn't reject this and said to the Lightning Cloud sect members, I won't speak about the conflicts between Lightning Cloud sect and me. I believe you know that from today, Lightning Cloud sect will be erased from South Peace State. Those who want to leave Lightning Cloud sect and leave, those who don't can stay. Then Emo opened his trap formation. This meant that those who weren't Lightning Cloud sect members anymore could leave, and those who didn't want to would be killed. With this, almost all Lightning Cloud sect members quickly scurried off. A few cultivators hesitated and also retreated. More cultivators knew that their sect leader had already ran off. It was dumb of them to still stay here to die. When almost everyone left, Emo found one person stayed. Just when Emo was about to kill him, that cultivator came up to Shan Bingfeng and bowed. Fang Zhongshe thanks Shan Qianbei for saving my life. Greet martial sister Xiaoshuang. Ling Xiaoshuang also greeted, You're too polite, martial brother Fang. Emo knew of this person and he did seem very charismatic. Even though his sect was annihilated, he seemed very calm, but how powerful was Emo's spirit sense? He could feel the extreme anger in his heart. Shan Bingfeng nodded. Martial Nisfang is a dragon amongst men. Now that Lightning Cloud sect is no more, take care of yourself. Fang Zihongshe bowed to her again and then saluted with his fists before disappearing. Emo knew what he meant. He would come back for revenge, but Emo wasn't scared of him. However, he didn't like trouble either. If he didn't agree to Shan Bingfeng, he would have killed this Fang Zhongshe. Shan Bingfeng seemed to know what Emo thought and smiled. Fang Zihongshe is talented, but compared to City Lord Yi, he's still a little lacking. Emo smiled plainly and didn't answer. Even if Fang Zhongshe came for revenge, he wouldn't care. Ling Xiaoshuang saw Emo's plain smile and was a little angry, thinking about what happened at the Truthfall City. She immediately said, Martial brother Fang is extremely talented, but he went into the wrong sect. The Lightning Cloud sect isn't suited to his survival. Now that he left the Lightning Cloud sect, it's a good thing for him. I look favorably to him. He's mature and not arrogant. He's also very polite. In time, I believe he might be on par with City Lord Yi. Xiaoshuang, Shan Bingfeng reproached. Master, I know what you mean. City Lord Yi is extremely excellent, but I believe he's a little lacking compared to Martial brother Fang on maturity. It sounded as though she was much more powerful than Emo and talking to him in the tone of a Qianbei. Emo knew she was still annoyed at him tricking her. But would a truth realization state cultivator compare himself with a mere hollow spirit state cultivator? So he completely ignored Ling Xiaoshuang's words. Xiaoshuang, don't say that. City Lord Yi is truth realization state power and a city lord. How could Fang Zihongshe compare with him in maturity? You must not say this again. City Lord Yi is magnanimous and would care about it. She felt her disciple was behaving strangely today. It seemed like she was reproaching Ling Xiaoshuang but was instead trying to excuse her. Ling Xiaoshuang wasn't like this and was very soft, but when she saw Yimo's Carol's attitude, she didn't know why she was annoyed and said again, "I know, master. Maybe my view is wrong. Perhaps it's to do with the words City Lord Yi said when I first saw him. I'll try to change my view." Shan Bingfeng looked at her disciple in confusion. What words? She immediately mimicked Yimo's voice. "Such a pretty nun." "You're so pretty, sister. I'm Ning Xiaoma." "Oh, you like this material, it's fine. I'll buy it for you. Sister, don't be in a rush. Let's go to Dao discussion meeting together." But then she paused. "But even now I don't see him buying that material for me." Shan Bingfeng regretted letting her disciple say these words. This didn't match City Lord Ye's great image. This wasn't the City Lord Yi that slaughtered the 11 truth realization states of Pill City and then annihilated Lightning Cloud sect. This was more like a lewd. Then Ling Xiaoshuang bowed to Yi Mo. "I really don't dare to believe that Ning Xiaoma is City Lord Yi. Later did I know City Lord Yi has a wife. Sigh, the first impression really ruins it." Shan Bingfeng didn't know what to say, but Yi Mo smiled plainly and didn't just ignore Ling Xiaoshuang. He said to Shan Bingfeng, "Shan Qianbei, please move back a little." Shan Bingfeng didn't know what Yi Mo was doing and pulled her disciple to the side. Yi Mo flew up above Lightning Cloud sect and threw down formation flags. After a few thousand formation flags, Yi Mo weaved hand signs. There was a rumbling sound that grew increasingly louder until it could be heard a few hundred kilometers away. Suddenly, the main peak of Lightning Cloud Mountain moved. With a rumble, it disappeared. Then, the 9 huge peaks of Lightning Cloud Mountain were swept away. In such a short time, the Lightning Cloud Mountain that was a few hundred kilometers of area was moved away using formation by Yi Mo. Ling Xiaoshuang and Shan Bingfeng looked at this with their mouths wide open. Moving mountains and seas, just how much power was needed. Yi Mo reached this level? With even the mountain been taken by Yi Mo, Lightning Cloud sect completely disappeared from South P State. MOU 2000. May 17 th Lightning Cloud sect annihilated. Emo put the main peak and the 9 side peaks in his golden page world before coming back to Shan Bingfeng and saluted with his fists. "Wan Bei will leave now. Qian Bei can go to MOU City when you're free." Shan Bingfeng reacted and sighed. No wonder the 11 truth realization state cultivators of Pill City, including Elder Shui Yi, were annihilated by City Lord Yi. City Lord Ye's power reached such an extent. Seeing that Yi Mo didn't want to stay, Shan Bingfeng suddenly said, "City Lord Yi, weren't you wondering why Feng Jiming's sword tip was that powerful?" Now that she brought it up, Yi Mo immediately asked, "Please enlighten me, Shan Qianbei." Shan Bingfeng nodded. "Actually, I see City Lord Yi surviving that explosion unscathed. I suspect City Lord Yi to be a body refinement cultivator and has reached an extremely high state, even the 3 god states." "How is that possible?" Ling Xiaoshuang said in shock. Shan Bingfeng nodded. "I believe this is impossible too, because even in the disaster state, you can't be unscathed in the explosion of ancient forbidden artifacts unless you're god state. But I know that's more impossible. No one on Luo Yu continent can reach god state, plus City Lord Yi is so young." Yi Mo said in shock, "Ancient forbidden artifact?" Shan Bingfeng answered, "That's right. Feng Jiming detonated an ancient forbidden artifact. The detonation requires oneself's essence blood and essence spirit. No matter how powerful your defense magic artifact is, it would be blasted, much less City Lord Yi not using any magic artifact. Of course, this is due to him only detonating a small sword tip. If it was a complete top-grade forbidden artifact, even Hollow Immortal would be heavily injured." Then Shan Bingfeng looked at Yi Mo in confusion, clearly not understanding how he avoided the detonation. She didn't believe that Yi Mo was god state, so she thought Yi Mo had some secret technique or extreme grade armors. Yi Mo didn't explain it. Seeing this, Shan Bingfeng could only say ancient forbidden artifacts as the magic artifact of ancient powerful beings. These magic artifacts are at least extreme grade cultivation artifact or some half-immortal artifact or low-grade immortal artifact. Before these powerful beings died, they would insert a sliver of their soul forcefully into their magic artifact. Usually, there are very few cultivators who can use that to possess and rebirth. The magic artifact with this sliver of soul forms a violent will in time. The longer the time, the more violent it is. This is forbidden artifact. The cultivators who acquire such magic artifact can use their essence blood and essence spirit to activate this violence to blast the enemy. Rarely can anyone survive this. So this was it. Yemo didn't care that much after realizing what it was. Seeing that Yemo wanted to go again, Shan Bingfeng suddenly asked, "City Lord Yi, are you going to Infinity Sect?" Yemo nodded, "That's right. After that, I'm going to Demon Prison Forbidden Grounds." Shan Bingfeng nodded, "Okay. I'm planning to take Ling Xiaoshuang to Demon Prison Forbidden Grounds. Since City Lord Yi wants to go, then let's go together." Yemo frowned. He was hesitant. Clearly Shan Bingfeng didn't like what he was going to do at Infinity Sect. If she went again, would he have to give face to her? He let go of the Lightning Cloud Sect disciples because the sect was annihilated and they were of no threat, but Infinity Sect was different. Infinity Sect was more powerful than Lightning Cloud Sect. Seeing this, Shan Bingfeng said, "If I'm not wrong, the moment you annihilated Lightning Cloud Sect, Infinity Sect has already gotten the news. Although they're more powerful than Lightning Cloud Sect, I believe they have abandoned Sect already." Yemo's heart sunk. He forgot to think about Shan Bingfeng. If she didn't come, he would have annihilated all the Lightning Cloud Sect members and then go Infinity Sect. Even if someone tried to send out news, it would be stopped by his formation. But because she came and he let go of a lot of Lightning Cloud Sect members, the Infinity Sect would have long got the news. Yemo's face looked very bad and Shan Bingfeng said apologetically, "Yemo, there is disaster everywhere in South Peace State. The Demon Prison Forbidden Grounds is just a start. If we keep fighting amongst ourselves, South Peace State will never have peace. You've already annihilated Lightning Cloud Sect and the Infinity Sect is more powerful. If they are annihilated too, there would be less cultivators to fight for the South Peace State. When the disaster falls, the South Peace State would be in danger." Yemo sighed. He stood different grounds to Shan Bingfeng. She was very selfless like Old Man Kong Yi. Although Yemo was really annoyed with Shan Bingfeng not minding her own business, he could only let it go. If he saw those truth realization states, he would go kill them one by one, especially that Yang Feiqing and He Lin. Even if Infinity Sect moved away or dissembled, he was going to go check. Seeing Yemo still head towards Infinity Sect, Shan Bingfeng sighed. She knew Yemo had some discomfort towards her now. When the three reached Infinity Sect, one night had passed and it was slightly daytime. Just as Shan Bingfeng guessed, other than the few thousand outer sect members and a few inner sect members, everyone left. There was only the empty sect and the two powerful words at the gate, Infinity Sect. This was left behind by the first sect leader of Infinity Sect, Joe Infinity. After he Immortal Ascension, these words became symbolic of Infinity Sect. Shan Bingfeng said. Yemo knew that Shan Bingfeng knew he would definitely erase the Infinity Sect mountains, so she said that. She knew there was no way Infinity Sect would be able to keep their sect mountain. Yemo didn't have the mood to kill the remaining sect members. He wasn't a murderous demon. He just announced Infinity Sect was erased and started setting up formation to take the mountains and spirit range. The huge peak with the words Infinity Sect was completely pulverized. Rubble splashed everywhere. Yemo knew that the Infinity Sect didn't move their sect mountain so they could come back in the future. A sect without their own sect mountain is in fact dead. Even if it wasn't, it would only be a matter of time before they dissipated in the river of time. MOU 2000, May 18th, South Peace State 9-star Sect Infinity Sect was annihilated. The instant he annihilated their mountain, Yemo's mind opened up. Even if he didn't kill Yang Feiqing and He Lin, so what? If he sees them in the future, he can kill them at any time. Even if he doesn't, there would be Gan Liang from Sword Valley. His talent was very absurd, although he wasn't Hollow Spirit State, but he doesn't fear Hollow Spirit State level 1 cultivators. The Infinity Sect annihilated Sword Valley. When Gan Liang becomes powerful, he won't let Yang Feiqing go. Seeing that he couldn't leave behind the two, Yemo just invited them into Blue Moon. The Demon Priceode Forbidden Grounds wasn't close. It would waste a few days if they went Shan Bingfeng's way. The extreme velocity OFBM even shocked Shan Bingfeng. Yemo's flying magic artifact was the fastest she had seen. The biggest state on Luo Yu was West Extreme State with the least amount of cultivators. The second biggest was South Peace State. It wasn't much than West Extreme State, however. The largest area in South Peace State was Nan Chan Tian. It was boundless and no different to the Heartless Sea to ordinary cultivators. However, to Yemo, Nan Chan Tian won't even splash a drop if thrown in the Heartless Sea. However, it was indeed very big, just small relative to the Heartless Sea. This place was always bleak. There were not only forests, lakes, and even small seas. There were also deserts, mountains, and swamps. Could be said to be a complete word. However, most places in this world, sunlight would never be able to shine in. Many cultivators would come here in search of fortune. Most of the high-level spirit herb of South Peace State came from here. There was abundant resources in Nan Chan Tian, but it was more dangerous than Heartless Sea. This place was always covered in mist. Spirit beast ravaged the place. There were all sorts of natural illusion and attack formations. Many low-level cultivators formed teams to go in. The demon prison Forbidden Grounds was in the depth of Nan Chan Tian, in the Nanchan Desert. Sorry. Seeing Yemo recover his mood, Shan Bingfeng apologized again. Yemo smiled. Shan Qianbei has helped me. Plus I know what Qianbei means. No need to say sorry again. The people I want to kill I can still kill even if they leave Infinity Sect. Shan Bingfeng sighed. Yemo, don't mention it. Although I directed you to go Ice God Forbidden Grounds, the spirit marrow you gave Ling Xiaoshuang was extremely high quality. It's definitely not the place I pointed you to go. Yemo just wanted to speak when his face sunk. He sped up Blue Moon instantly, and in the blink of an eye, Blue Moon appeared next to three cultivators who were fighting. The three cultivators just saw a blue light flash and a flying magic artifact appeared before them. Gu Wei, what is going on? Gu Wei went with him to the Truthfall Palace. He was a cultivator of the Hanliang Empire. He gave Gu Wei the pill for him to reach nascent soul state. Gu Wei served at Mou City in order to thank Yi Mo. He was a helpful assistant of Mou City. This time, he was taken to the demon prison Forbidden Grounds by the Silver Moon Pill King. Why was he here and being hunted? Gu Wei was already nascent soul state tertiary stage, but his talent was very average. What was going on? City Lord Yi, it's you. You're back. Gu Wei immediately recognized Yemo and was overjoyed. It seemed now that not only was his life secured, but his mission was also complete. Yemo took out a pill and gave to Gu Wei. Recover first, you can tell me slowly. The two cultivators hunting Gu Wei saw Yemo and them come and immediately knew things were over. They haven't seen Yemo, but they've heard of his name. They were only nascent soul state tertiary stages. With City Lord Ye's power of slaughtering hollow spirit state easily and even matching body condensation state, they were nothing for him. Seeing those two about to go, Yemo said coldly, do you think you two can go? The two shivered and didn't dare to move. Gu Wei recovered and gave a jade slip to Yemo. Silver Moon Pill King Qianbei told me to give this to City Lord Ning. Yemo nodded and took the jade slip but didn't look. What's with these two? Yemo scanned the two pale nascent soul state cultivators. They know I have a lot of immortal demon crystals, so they want to kill me and rob it. Gu Wei said. Yemo frowned. He has heard of immortal crystals and demon crystals but never immortal demon crystals. Even Shan Binfeng looked at Gu Wei in confusion. Gu Wei explained after Guan Tian Pill King was infected by demon qi. Silver Moon Pill King was very worried. He gave Mou City matters over to Elder Lin, and then Silver Moon Pill King took me and another elder and rushed here. When we went Demon Prison Forbidden Grounds, there wasn't teleportation formation outside Nanchan Tian. Now, there is a teleportation formation from Demon Prison Forbidden Grounds and outside Nanchan Tian. I came from the teleportation formation. Yemo knew Elder Lin. He was a truth realization state Qianbei loyal to Silver Moon Pill King and Mou City. He was the only truth realization state elder who didn't agree to Wu Ming's 6 strikes. Yemo even gave him some pills, and this elder was in solitary cultivation trying to reach truth realization state tertiary stage. There's teleportation formation outside Nanchan Tian? Shan Bingfeng asked in confusion. Yes, it was just built all because of the appearance of immortal demon crystals. Gu Wei hadn't seen Shan Bingfeng, but he recognized Ling Xiaoshuang. What is immortal demon crystals? Ling Xiaoshuang asked. Gu Wei took out 7 jade boxes and passed it to Yemo. These are immortal demon crucidals. Silver Moon Pill King told me to bring it to the 2 city lord wives. Because we found means to deal with the demonic spirits there, many people got some demon crystals. These demon crystals can be made into pills. The pills made with these crystals are much better. Some cultivators wanted more demon crystals, so they went further inside the forbidden grounds. In there, they found a demon well. If they killed the demonic spirits, they would get these immortal demon crystals. Those cultivators soon found that these immortal demon crystals contained immortal spirit chi. It's much better than extreme-grade spirit stones for cultivation. Many cultivators broke through their bottleneck with the immortal demon crystals. One disaster transformation state peak stage even used it to break through to truth realization state. Yemo was shook and immediately asked, "The reason your power grew so much is because of these immortal demon crystals?" Gu Wei nodded. "Yes, Silver Moon Pill King Qianbei gave 2 to me. I reached Nascent Soul State Level 7 from Nascent Soul State Level 3. The Qianbei told B to bring these 7 back to Mou City. They knew I have it, so they followed me from the Forbidden Grounds to here, wanting to rob it from me." Yemo sneered and threw over 2 balls of flame, and the 2 Nascent Soul State cultivators were completely disintegrated. Gu Wei knew Yemo was powerful, but only today did he have a direct view. Yemo picked a crystal up and checked it with his cultivation essence. "Your foundation is good, and thus you could reach Nascent Soul State Level 7 fast, but you can't give up your foundation. Using this method of speeding up cultivation has its drawbacks. If one only cared about cultivation speed, his mind state wouldn't be able to keep up. Eventually he might die due to heart demon. Yemo had the bitter bamboo, so he didn't have to problem." Gu Wei quickly nodded. "Yes, City Lord. Silver Moon Pill King told me this too." Yemo didn't speak, but he was very shook. This wasn't some immortal demon crystal. It was an ordinary demonic crystal, containing a sliver of immortal spirit chi. There could only be one explanation for this. Those demonic spirits have been staying at a place with immortal crystals, and thus the immortal spirit chi was sucked into their demon crystal. Realizing this, Yemo immediately thought of the space seal in West Extreme State Sand River. Was Demon Prison Forbidden Grounds the seal of immortal ascension for South Peace State cultivators? Thinking about this, Yemo almost screamed with excitement. If he found another space seal with all those immortal crystals, he would definitely get more than 10 immortal crystals, unlike last time. Even if he just found 1 seal flag, he would take all the immortal crystals from it. Without immortal crystals, it was too hard for him to break through now. Seeing Yemo not talk, Gu Wei said again, "There aren't a lot of demonic spirits inside as compared to the entrance to the Forbidden Grounds. Guantian Pill King was poisoned by demonic chi. Silver Moon Pill King and other cultivators went into the depth of the Forbidden Grounds. Silver Moon Pill King said he would search for Heaven Demon Mushroom. Only that could save Guantian Pill King." Yemo nodded. He knew the Heaven Demon Mushroom. It grew in a palsy with extremely dense demon chi. It was very rare level 9 spirit herb. Then, Yemo scanned with spirit sense on the jade slip Yu Chichao gave him. "Yemo, I got news from my Pill City friends that Mou City Lord Lu wants to form an alliance with Pill City. Mou City must not form alliance with Pill City. I'm gonna save Xin Guanqing, so I can't make it back. If Elder Wuming insists on the alliance, City Lord Ning can tell Elder Lin to protect Mou Lake. Wuming spoils his disciple, but he's not a bad person. He won't touch Mou City. We can decide the rest of the things when we come back. Immortal demon crystals have immortal spirit chi. Cultivation is extremely fast with it. But that would also cause unstable foundation. Be careful when using it, Yu Chichao." So Yu Chichao knew, but he couldn't make it back on time due to Xin Guanqing. "Gu Wei, are you going back to Mou City or coming with me?" Yemo asked. Jiu Wei answered, "I've already cultivated too fast. I need to go back to consolidate my state. I won't go." Yemo gave a few pills to him and a top-grade flying cultivation artifact before bidding him farewell. On the outskirts of Nanchantian, Yemo indeed saw a teleportation formation. There were 2 cauldron-filling state cultivators guarding it. They recognized Shan Bingfeng, and seeing her come with Ling Xiaoshuang, they immediately greeted. When the 2 knew Yemo was City Lord of Mou City, they were very hospitable. From how they called him, Emo knew they cared more about his Pill King status. Clearly, news of him killing truth realization states at MOU City and annihilating 29 starsects didn't reach here yet. Just when they were about to go on teleportation formation, another 2 dashing lights came. 2 figures landed. One of them was Truth Realization State Level 3 just like Emo, and another was Truth Realization State Level 6. Shan Bingfeng looked at the 2 wondering since when were there so many Truth Realization State cultivators in South Peace State. The 2 didn't care seeing that both Emo and Shan Bingfeng were Truth Realization State, but they were a little surprised seeing Emo was this young and a Truth Realization State. The Truth Realization State Level 3 said to the 2 cauldron-filling states, "Open the teleportation formation. We're going to Demon Prison Forbidden Grounds." "Yes, Qian Bei." One quickly replied and opened the teleportation formation. The 2 went in first. Emo and Shan Bingfeng didn't mind, but Ling Xiaoshuang frowned. "Master, why don't the 2 know you?" Ling Xiaoshuang thought that although her master was Truth Realization State primary stage, she was renowned in the world. "These 2 are probably not from South Peace State," Shan Bingfeng said. Shan Bingfeng looked at Emo and asked, "Emo, can you tell who these 2 are?" Ling Xiaoshuang said that out of politeness. Emo was powerful, but he was too young. A cultivator whom even she didn't know, Emo probably wouldn't know either. However, Emo smiled. "They aren't from South Peace State indeed. They're from the Heartless Sea." Emo was thinking something else. If even the Heartless Sea cultivators got news of this, who knows how many more cultivators would be coming. "Huh, how do you know?" Ling Xiaoshuang asked. Emo smiled but didn't answer. He just went on the teleportation formation. He had dominated the Heartless Sea. The Heartless Sea cultivators all had a dense sea chi. Other people can't feel it, but he immediately noticed. Seeing Emo ignore him, Ling Xiaoshuang didn't feel happy but could only go on the teleportation formation. "Such a huge barren desert," Ling Xiaoshuang exclaimed. It was boundless. There was not a person to be seen here. Even the 2 Truth Realization State cultivators who just came disappeared. Emo felt completely different. Compared to the Sand River of West Extreme State, this was heaven. There was a bleak sensation entering Sand River as though it was filled with unseen bones and killing intent. It was dark here and even the rocks were gray, but Emo felt it wasn't as shocking and filled with killing intent. But Emo also knew that it was only the Nanchan Desert here. There was still some distance to the Demon Prison Forbidden Grounds. The visibility range was very low, even spirit sense was greatly affected. This place was also lifeless and monotone. Despite knowing there was no danger here and she was hollow spirit state, Ling Xiaoshuang still subconsciously moved closer to Shan Bingfeng. Shan Bingfeng had a calm expression. This place couldn't startle her, and Emo could immediately tell that she had been to quite a lot of dangerous places herself. This teleportation formation was built on the border of Nanchan Desert. There was still tens of thousands of miles from the Forbidden Grounds. This distance wasn't far for them, but they didn't go very fast. Emo even slowed down as he wanted to see if there were those spirits in here too. Even so, for hours later, they were at the outskirts of the Demon Prison Forbidden Grounds. They didn't encounter any danger on the way. This was the first time Emo saw the entrance to the Forbidden Grounds. The desert was already gray and dim, but here Emo realized the condition in the desert was much better than here. This place was truly dark. Without spirit sense, the eyes would only be able to see a dark hole. Even though Emo's eyes were much better than others, he could only see a blurry shadow. "So black," Ling Xiaoshuang said, and Emo suddenly shot out a fireball. After a scream, the darkness returned to being silent. Emo picked up a crystal. It was very bright. Hard to imagine it was in that black shadow. "This is demon spirit?" Ling Xiaoshuang said in a shiver. She didn't see nothing with her eyes nor spirit sense, and Emo already killed a demon spirit. If these demonic spirits could really infect the minds of cultivators, wouldn't she have fallen just then? Shan Bingfeng nodded. "That's right. If Emo didn't kill that demonic spirit, you would have been possessed already." Shan Bingfeng said that, but she didn't really mean it, as her spirit sense scanned that demonic spirit too. Emo breathed easy instead. This place wasn't as dangerous as Lin Jishan said to be. The demonic spirit here was far weaker compared to the evil spirits of Sand River. They weren't on the same level. Even if Ling Xiaoshuang was careful, she would be able to annihilate it with hollow spirit state inner fire. He also realized what was going on here. The demon spirits just hid in the darkness. There's a formation around here, probably to stop the demonic spirits from going out. Emo suddenly said. If all the demonic spirits were really on this caliber, they were of no threat. Perhaps even the sun could melt them. Shan Bingfeng also noticed the formation and nodded yes. Perhaps I'm thinking too much. Although there's demonic chi spilling, but it doesn't seem to be too serious. Emo frowned. Demon prison forbidden grounds, the most dangerous forbidden grounds of South Peace State. If this was it, then it didn't deserve that title. Master, do we go in now? Ling Xiaoshuang asked. Shan Bingfeng looked at Emo and asked, what do you think? Emo thought for a moment and said, I'm going to set up another formation outside. I don't feel this formation is enough. If something happens, it would be too late. No matter what, Emo didn't want something to happen to South Peace State. MOU City was at South Peace State too. Since he felt there was something wrong with this forbidden grounds, Emo felt he needed to set up another trap and kill formation. You're saying things aren't as simple as they seem? Shan Bingfeng immediately realized Yemo's intention. It's probably so. Yemo nodded. Seeing Yemo throw down an extreme grade spirit range for formation, even Shan Bingfeng was at a loss for words. Yemo was wealthy and this willing to give. Even a 9-star sect might not have extreme grade spirit range in South Peace State. Her Clear Dream Mosque only had one extreme grade spirit range for the entire sect, and that was left behind by Qianbei. The reason Yemo was this generous was one, because his golden page world was filled with extreme grade spirit range, second, top grade spirit range were trashed to Suanshan, so he had less of that. Another reason was that Yemo was scared of the evil spirits coming out of the forbidden grounds. He knew all too well the power of those evil spirits. Truth realization state cultivators can't even see them with their spirit sense. Even if they could, they wouldn't be able to kill those evil spirits. Who knew if there were evil spirits here? Yemo might not have her noble intention, but he did things more materialistically than her. If evil spirits were in here, this shabby formation wouldn't be enough to stop them from coming out. If these things went out of Nanchan Tian into South Peace State, it would be a disaster. If the entire South Peace State has fallen, how could MOU City exist alone? Emo knew that chance was very rare. Even in the West Extreme State, those evil spirits could only exist in Sand River, meaning those demonic spirits probably couldn't leave here. But it was better to be safe than sorry. Shan Bingfeng's view of Yemo changed again. Before she said that Yemo was either the root of chaos in the cultivation realm or the savior of the cultivation realm. So many times, she tried to help Yemo and urge Clear Dream Mosque to help Yemo. She was good at seeing what others thought. When she first saw Yemo was a little weaker at that time and his mind had flaws. She immediately saw what Yemo thought. She was unhappy that Yemo had those dirty thoughts the first time he saw her, but after that she couldn't see Yemo's mind again. Seeing Yemo take out extreme grade spirit range for formation, she realized she knew far too little about Yemo. This wasn't a simple formation. Only on the third day did this level 9 trap and attack formation slowly show. More and more cultivators came here. Some cultivators who knew Shan Bingfeng and Ling Xiaoshuang only greeted them and just went straight in. On the fourth day, Yemo's formation completely closed, and with a crack, the spirit chi that was seeping out completely disappeared. There was actually a sliver of light in the darkness of the demon prison forbidden grounds. In the center of the light, a pitch-black entrance appeared before them. Martial Brother Yi, you used extreme grade spirit range to set the formation here. What if the people who came here found out and tried to take it? Ling Xiaoshuang asked. Yemo smiled. They won't. Yemo really wasn't worried at all. Even 5 or 6 truth realization state cultivators won't necessarily be able to break this formation. Those lower than truth realization state would be instantly killed. Those cultivators who can reach truth realization state weren't idiots. Yemo didn't believe they couldn't see the use of this formation. It didn't block cultivators going in at all and only trapped those demonic spirits without a physical body. If there really was some truth realization state cultivator who tried to break the formation, Yemo would know. He left a spirit sense mark on this formation. He would come out and kill them. More and more cultivators came. There were even 7-star and 6-star cultivators here, as well as many solo cultivator. EMO didn't use stealth means for his formation. So many people saw EMO set up the trap and attack formation. But they all knew the formation probably wasn't for show, so no one touched it. At this moment, the three also went into the forbidden grounds through the entrance. Wuxia City. This was a very small city in South Peace State. It was mostly inhabited by mortals. There were some cultivators, but they were very low level. In a restaurant, some cultivators were chatting away. Did you know? MOU City Lord come back to the city dominantly. The Pill City Truth Realization State cultivators were showing off there. 20 to 30 Truth Realization State cultivators trapped EMO. Guess what happened? A drunk skinny male cultivator chatted. This news was very shocking and many other cultivators immediately stopped talking. Someone even asked desperately what happened. This skinny cultivator drank the entire bottle of wine and then said, "That City Lord Yi is extremely powerful." It said that a few of the Pill City elders even had a few low-grade immortal artifact, but in the eyes of City Lord Yi, there were clowns. City Lord Yi didn't even use magic artifact and he crushed all the Truth Realization State peak stage using low-grade immortal artifact. That power. This isn't possible. Truth Realization State peak stage can be crushed with Cultivation Essence Giant Hand? One that was low-grade immortal artifact. Even if the Pill City has that many Truth Realization State peak stage Qian Bei, they wouldn't be able to have that many low immortal artifact. Someone asked. The male cultivator realized he was caught out and quickly slammed the table. "Waiter, bring some more wine." Then he said to that cultivator, "Impossible. That's because you don't know the power of Cultivation Essence Giant Hand. Can you use Cultivation Essence Giant Hand?" That cultivator's face burst red, but he still argued. Pill City cultivators were also Truth Realization State. They also have Cultivation Essence Giant Hand. The male cultivator said in contempt, "So what if they do? Can their Cultivation Essence Giant Hand compare with City Lord Yi? City Lord is also a Pill King. I heard he's level 10 Pill King. The highest level of Pill King is level 9? Someone else asked quietly. The man said nonchalantly, "Then level 9, I can't remember too clearly. At the time, I only saw Sword Chi ravaging the dimensional fabric. That battle was heavenly shocking." Another green-robed, beautiful female cultivator sitting in one corner showed surprise and joy hearing this. Just when she wanted to ask more, another old man said, "This friend is telling the truth, but it's too exaggerated. According to what I've heard, the Pill City Truth Realization State elders wanted to combine with MOU City, but City Lord Yi happened to get back before then." "Then what happened?" the green-robed girl asked. She felt this old man was more reliable. The old man nodded. The Pill City had 10 Truth Realization State cultivators, and they threatened City Lord Yi. In his anger, City Lord Yi crushed a Truth Realization State level 1 with Cultivation Essence Giant Hand. There were exclaims of shock everywhere. The old man continued. Then, one Pill City elder sent a distress signal, and the nearby Pill City elder Shui Yi Qianbei came too. The Pill City Truth Realization State thought they had won for sure, but even Shui Yi with low-grade immortal artifact was no match for Yemo. At this moment, Pill City Truth Realization State wanted to grab City Lord Ye's family and threaten him. Due to this, City Lord Yi was completely furious. The green-robed woman's fists were clenched pale, and her face was very worried. City Lord Yi trapped Shui Yi with formation, and then used lightning element magic to kill the remaining 9 Truth Realization States. The force of that lightning, everyone who saw it were all astounded. When Shui Yi broke free, he was also killed. Then, the original Vice City Lord Luolan and his master Wuming 6 strikes left MOU City. City Lord Yi didn't kill the 2 on Silver Moon Pill King's account. Hearing this, the green-robed female cultivator felt assured. Someone else asked quietly, "Then the Lightning Cloud Sect and Infinity Sect all have enmity with City Lord Yi. Would they seal sects again now?" "Seal sect, they probably don't have a chance to seal sect." Another sneer sounded. The old man nodded, indeed. "What's going on?" the Skinner man asked. "If he knows this, he can exaggerate it somewhere else." The old man said, "Because after City Lord Yi rebuilt MOU City formation, he immediately went to Lightning Cloud Sect. Even the lightning cloud mountain was removed. On the next day, City Lord Yi stamped the Infinity Sect. Hee, there won't be Lightning Cloud Sect and Infinity Sect in the South Peace State from now on. A man should live like this? The man sneering before said. He clearly knew this, but after the old man finished, he still slammed the table and drank his cup clean. City Lord Yi killed 11 Pill City Truth Realization State elders. Did the Pill City not get revenge? One Foundation Establishment State primary stage female cultivator asked. The cultivator sitting on the same table with her asked, "Do you think the Pill City is same Pill City as before?" At its peak, it had even 100 Truth Realization State cultivators. After multiple events and now Silver Moon and Guan Tian Pill King leaving Pill City, the Pill City Truth Realization State Xianbei have split off. They would be lucky if there were 20 left behind. This time, City Lord Yi just killed 11. The sneering man continued, "The Pill City is lucky if City Lord Yi didn't go find trouble with him. How would they dare to go to Mou City? I also heard that City Lord Yi said if the Pill City didn't behave, he would erase them." The blood of the cultivators boiled, as though if they worked hard on cultivation, they would be able to catch up to Yi Mo's level one day. Hero, he's a hero. If I, Li Shidao, gets to see the face of such hero, I would be very satisfied. The male cultivator sighed. The old man smiled. Friend, it's not hard for you to see City Lord Yi. You have a way? The male cultivator clearly admired Yi Mo greatly and asked in surprise and joy. The old man nodded. The demon prison Forbidden Grounds demon chi have spilled. Mou City Guan Tian Pill King went to help Snow Demon Pill, but was infected by the demonic chi instead. Silver Moon Pill King went to help him, and thus the incident at Mou City occurred. After City Lord Yi annihilated Infinity Sect, he immediately went towards demonic prison Forbidden Grounds. It's said that there's immortal demon crystals there, and many cultivators went there in Sirac of that. If you go there now, friend, you might be able to see City Lord Yi. What is immortal demon crystals? Someone asked immediately. Suddenly, there was some rustling downstairs, and moments later, one male and female cultivator charged up the second floor. The green-robed woman saw the two and looked joyful. She got up, but before she could talk, another Golden Core State Level 7 charged up to second floor and instantly stopped the two. Two Foundation Establishment State insects dare to escape from me. Then, he reached out with his hand wanting to grab both of them. The two Foundation Establishment State knew there was nothing they could do against Golden Core State cultivators, so they closed their eyes and awaited death. Golden Core State was the highest level in this small restaurant. No one dared to say a thing to stop this Golden Core State. Someone even recognized who the Golden Core State was. At this moment, sword light flashed and splurge blood splashed out. Half an arm fell onto the ground. No one expected someone to help at this moment. The Golden Core State held his broken arm with a pale face and ate a few pills. She stared at the green-robed female cultivator and asked, "Qianbei, why did you cut my arm?" "I don't know you," the green-robed female cultivator said coldly. "You dare to kill my big brother's disciple. I can't cut your arm? Piss off. If you dare to stay, I will cut your head." The Golden Core State grunted and picked up his arm, flying out of the restaurant. Clearly, this green-robed female cultivator was Nascent Soul State. "It's you?" The two looked at the green-robed cultivator and said with a complex expression. The female cultivator nodded. "It's me, Eru, Xiaozhen. I really didn't expect to see you guys here. Let's chat over here. Big brother would be very happy to know you guys are safe." The two were taught cultivation method by Yi Mo, so they didn't suffer too much here. They just hanged with low-level cultivators searching for resources every day. Eru's expression was complicated because he knew this woman. It was his master's brother's wife, Dongfang Nana. They didn't expect her to be this strong. Eru even thought that his master might not be a match for her. The restaurant quiet ended down a lot. This green-robed woman easily cut off the arm of a Golden Core State tertiary stage cultivator. Clearly, she was no simple person. Being noisy in front of a nascent soul state, Qianbei was asking for death. She was Dongfang Nana, but she's called Chang Nana now. Her talent is very good, pure wood spirit root. With the large amount of resources at Mou City, she was nascent soul state when she finished solitary cultivation. She knew that Yi Mo left Mou City to find Song Yangzhu and Yi Ling, and she also missed Yi Zifeng. So she left Mou City to search for Yi Zifeng. She had been searching for him in this city as he disappeared from here. However, she had asked countless people and still wasn't able to find any news of him. Even so, she reached nascent soul state level 5. One could see how good her talent was. Once the three sat down, Chang Nana saw Yu Eru give her a wary look, so she could only say, "Eru, I came with Zifeng to South Peace State and then we got separated. Big brother found me and took me to Mou City. I'm actually not from the Dongfang family, I'm called Chang Nana now. I really didn't expect to see you two here. This city is where Zifeng went missing. I've searched here for a few years, but I still haven't found Zifeng." "Marshal Uncle Zifeng went missing?" Yu Eru asked in shock. Chang Nana nodded in sadness. "Let's not talk about this. Why are you guys here?" Yu Eru asked desperately instead. "Auntie Chang, you're saying my master found you? He's in Mou City?" Chang Nana nodded, "Yes. The city lord of Mou City is Big Brother. He built Mou City." Hearing this, Yu Eru's eyes went red. He thought he would never be able to find his master again, and yet, in such a place, he got news of his master. The big name of Mou City, he had heard of it many times and knew the city lord was City Lord Yi, but he never expected the city lord to be his master. Lu Xiaozhen held Yu Eru's shaky hands. "I'm going to Mou City now to find master." Yu Eru got up immediately. Chang Nana nodded. "Big brother isn't at Mou City right now. You won't be able to see him even if you go back now. If you want to see Big Brother, you can only go to Demon Prison Forbidden Grounds. I just heard people say he went there." "Then let's go there," Yu Eru said without hesitation. "But I've heard that Demon Prison is the most dangerous of the South Peace State 4 Forbidden Grounds. With our power, we'll die if we go," Lu Xiaozhen said worriedly. Chang Nana nodded. "It's very dangerous indeed. I've never been, but I've heard from others. The Forbidden Grounds is in the Nanshan Tian Desert. Ordinary cultivators wouldn't even be able to make it to the desert, much less the Forbidden Grounds." Then Chang Nana suddenly waved to the old man. "Friend, come over." The old man was only Foundation Establishment State Level 7, and he didn't dare to hesitate as he came over. "Chen Bei, what do you need of me? You said that many people went to Demon Prison Forbidden Grounds. According to what I know, it's the most dangerous Forbidden Grounds of South Peace State. How do ordinary cultivators go?" Chang Nana asked. The old man replied, "Chen Bei, it's because of the appearance of immortal demon crystals. It can allow cultivators to break through and rapidly increase their power. It's even more effective than pills. One disaster transformation state peak stage cultivator used the crystal and reached truth realization state on the spot." Everyone was listening in intently because of this. Some of the cultivators couldn't even breathe. Chang Nana frowned. "I ask you how ordinary cultivators got inside. Not what's the use of the immortal demon crystals." The old man quickly answered, "Chen Bei, don't worry. It's because of these crystals that some big merchant associations set up a teleportation formation outside Nanshan Tian. From South Peace City, Feng City, and a few other cities all have teleportation formation to Nanshan Tian. A Chen Bei even set up teleportation formation from Nanshan Tian to Nanshan Desert. So cultivators can go straight to Nanshan Desert and enter the Demon Prison Forbidden Grounds." Chang Nana said in confusion, "Even if they can go there, so what? Demon Prison Forbidden Grounds is the most dangerous Forbidden Grounds. Low-level cultivators going there is seeking death." The old man said, "It's because many powerful cultivators have gone in already. The demonic spirits have all been annihilated by them. So, the outskirts is very safe. Low-level cultivators would form teams and try their luck at the outskirts. If they find low-level demonic spirit, they might be lucky to get a few demonic crystals. If they were luckier, they might get one containing immortal demon crystal. Plus, it said there's a trap attack formation outside the Forbidden Grounds. If you encounter powerful demonic spirit, you only have to run out of the Forbidden Grounds and you would be safe. There's even quite a lot of chi-gathering cultivators there." Chang Nana suddenly asked coldly, "You're a mere Foundation Establishment State cultivator. How would you know so much?" The old man quickly said, "It's because Wan Bei is from Fei Ling Merchant Association. We set up the teleportation formation from Feng City to Nan Chan Tian. Chang Nana realized and then asked, "So you came to advertise for them to send people to Demon Prison Forbidden Grounds?" The old man quickly said, "Yes, our merchant association would have flying ship going past here. Those who wants to use Feng City teleportation formation, we can give 50% discount." Chang Nana waved his hand. This old man was just here to sell things. No wonder he knew so much. He was purposely bringing the topic to the immortal demon crystals. As soon as the old man left, many cultivators went up to ask him about the teleportation formation and immortal demon crystals. "Auntie Chang, are we going Feng City too?" Eru asked desperately. Clearly he was convinced by the old man. Chang Nana said awkwardly, "Eru, just call me Nana. I'm younger than you guys." Eru still wanted to say something, but Chang Nana said, "That's settled. Since even chi-gathering cultivators can go in, then let's go check it out too." Seeing this, Eru asked, "When do we go?" "Let's go now, I have flying ship." Then Chang Nana got up. The entrance to the forbidden grounds was bleak. The stairs were completely made up of fine sand. Emo and them weren't very fast. 15 minutes later, they were still on the steps. Emo started to speed up. After 7 minutes, they finally got off the stairs and came to a dark lava pool. The pool was dry and filled with hard lava rocks. However, this place started to light up a little instead. Despite having spirit sense, everyone's first instinct was to look with eyes. Cultivators were of no exception. "So this place is called Demon Prison Blood Pool. I heard a Qian Bei talk about it, but it's dry now," Shan Bingfeng said. Emo didn't care much at first, but hearing Shan Bingfeng say this, he felt the solidified lava did seem strange. It was as though if you looked at it, there was a strange attraction that made you want to jump in at all cost. Emo shook his head. The three walked 5 hours from the pool and didn't see a single demonic spirit. They didn't see any cultivators neither. "Master, I feel uncomfortable in here," Ling Xiaoshuang finally said. Shan Bingfeng nodded. "I heard that before people can't even avoid the blood pool. They would all jump in. It's normal that you have such feeling. We're about to reach the Bone River. We didn't encounter any danger on the way. Clearly huge changes have occurred here." "Bone River?" Emo asked in confusion. Shan Bingfeng nodded. "Yes, the Bone River is like the blood pool. Those cultivators who see it wouldn't be able to resist jumping in. Countless people have died in there over the years." Emo frowned. "There's Blood Pool and Bone River. Isn't it like the fabled hell? Would there be Nai He Bridge and Meng Pasup?" He was thinking, since there was Bone River, would the demonic spirit fuse with the hatred in the Bone River and form evil spirits? They were nothing to him but lethal to ordinary cultivators. Shan Bingfeng nodded. "I haven't heard of Meng Pasup, but there really is Nai He Bridge. It's called Three Birth Bridge in here. The Demon Prison Forbidden Grounds is extremely huge, and there's unimaginable treasures here. Despite all the dangers here, there would always be cultivators coming inside. However, no cultivators would go to Three Birth Bridge." "Why?" Ling Xiaoshuang asked. Shan Bingfeng's face looked serious. "Those who go to Demon Prison Three Birth Bridge will die for sure. There has been no exceptions. There's a saying, seeing the Three Birth Bridge, your present life is no longer. Stepping foot on the Three Birth Bridge, your past life has turned to dust. Walking on the Three Birth Bridge, your next life has faded." Suddenly, Shan Bingfeng waved a fireball over and there was a sharp howl. Then, a flashy crystal landed on the floor. It was exactly the same as the immortal demon crystals Gu Wei gave him. Hearing this name, Emo felt strange. The Demon Prison Three Birth Bridge, his three-birth chant. Even though he knew the meaning was different, he still wanted to see this three-birth bridge. "Immortal demon crystal?" Ling Xiaoshuang called out in shock. She only raised her voice a little, but it seemed eerily sharp in the Demon Prison Forbidden Grounds. As though to respond to her call, there was a huge rumbling in the distance as though someone attacking something. The three quickly came to the place of the sound and found there were a few hundred cultivators gathered here. They surrounded a dried-up river bed. There were many bones inside. Seeing this, Emo immediately knew this might be the Bone River. Rumble. Emo saw a disaster transformation state shoot out a red flame, and with a sharp howl a crystal fell to the ground. Another immortal demon crystal. Emo had understood. All the people here were waiting to get the crystals. Even their position was decided after some battles. Shan Qianbei, Goddess Ling. There were less people who knew Emo, and they felt strange when Shan Bingfeng came with Emo. Some cultivators knew about the Pill City, Infinity Sect and Lightning Cloud Sect things and wanted to come up and greet Emo. However, they were afraid of losing their spots if they left. Emo just wanted to find someone to ask where Silver Moon Pill King went when he saw a few cultivators fly over from the side of the Bone River. They quickly said, "Dao friends, please help. So many demonic spirits chased over. We're no match." Many cultivators already noticed the demonic spirits chasing over. Unlike the evil spirits, demonic spirits could be found with spirit sense if cultivators knew of the frequency. Tens of cultivators charged over, and there were more than 10 demonic spirits. Under the attacks of countless flames, they quickly turned into immortal demon crystal. "Don't stay here, go to that side. That's demon prison plane, there's a lot of demonic spirits there. We have too little people," the saved cultivators said desperately. Hearing this, all the cultivators left the Bone River and followed them into the plain. Soon there was only them three left. "Master, are we going to the plain too?" Ling Xiaoshuang asked. Shan Bingfeng looked at Emo, wanting to know what he thought. Emo said uncertainly, "Shan Qianbei, I don't feel the demonic spirits here are that simple. They're too easy to kill. There's some irritance about the whole thing." Shan Bingfeng fell silent and said after a while, "I believe you've been to too many dangerous places like the Ice God Forbidden Grounds. It's indeed very dangerous, but theoretically the Demon Prison Forbidden Grounds is the #1 Forbidden Grounds. It should be more dangerous than the Ice God Forbidden Grounds. This place is indeed dangerous, but the blood pool has dried and the Bone River doesn't have that calling. I believe some incident occurred here causing this." Even she thought so. Emo didn't continue explaining. Seeing this, Shan Bingfeng said, "There's 3 directions ahead of the Bone River to enter the depth of the Forbidden Grounds. One leads to the plain, another to the 3-berth bridge, another leads to Sand River." "Sand River?" Emo repeated in shock. West Extreme State had a Sand River too, and West Extreme State had a Demon Realm too. There was 2 ways of getting there. One was from the Sand River. If that really was the case, then there were 2 ways from South Peace State to West Extreme State. One was through the Heartless Sea, another through here. Emo came from Earth and new planets were round. Luoyu continent was huge, but no one knew if it was round or not. Who can be sure it wasn't? If Luoyu continent was a round planet, then things could be explained. Shan Bingfeng nodded, "Yes, Sand River. I've heard Qianbei mention it, but I've never heard of those who went in and came back. Since no one has come back, how do they know one path leads to Sand River?" Ling Xiaoshuang asked. Shan Bingfeng smiled. "There would always be someone who knows. There's no reason for it." In a short while, more than 100 cultivators came over where they came from. Martial Uncle Shan, Martial Sister Qingxuang, Brother Yi. There were even some people Emo knew. Seeing Qingyan and Qingyi and them, Emo felt warm at heart. They had gone through hardship together in the Truthfall Palace, so Emo greeted them. "Why didn't Qingyue and Yushan come?" "They're in solitary cultivation," Qingyan quickly answered. She exclaimed at heart, thinking that although Emo annihilated Lightning Cloud Sect and Infinity Sect, he was still the same Emo. "How did you guys all come here?" Shan Bingfeng looked at the Clear Dream Mosque nuns and asked in confusion. "Sect leader said that Demon Prison Forbidden Grounds opened up and told us to come for a trial," the nuns said. Shan Bingfeng nodded. She knew what the sect leader meant. Luoyu continent was about to descend into chaos, so was South Peace State. If they stayed in the sect and never experienced things, they would always be soft. Only through blood and battle could they grow. Emo fell silent. Was keeping Luo Ying and them in solitary cultivation good or bad then? "City Lord Yi, I'm going to take my disciples to Demon Prison Plain. What about you?" Shan Bingfeng asked. She knew that since the Clear Dream Mosque disciples were here, she couldn't keep going with Emo. Emo nodded, "Okay. Shan Qianbei, go as you please. I'm going to stay here a while." Then, Shan Bingfeng and them left the Bone River and headed into the plain. The rest of the cultivators followed too. In the turn of an eye, Emo was the only one left here. Emo didn't go because he felt there was something wrong with the Bone River. He couldn't tell exactly what it was. He was bewildered that, with all the countless bodies, here no evil spirits formed. Emo stood by the Bone River and scanned in with his spirit sense. Even though his spirit sense was extremely powerful, he couldn't find anything inside. He still felt it was strange though. Thinking about this, Emo released Mist Lotus Heartfire and used Heaven Flame 9 Suns. A blue sun shone above the Bone River. Instantly, a few shadows seeped out. They were very fast. Emo's face changed. There really were evil spirits here. Emo didn't understand why they didn't attack those cultivators. Truth realization state cultivators could use their domain fire to kill evil spirits instantly, but if they were possessed by evil spirits, then it would be very difficult. Although Emo could only use one blue sun with Heaven Flame 9 Suns, this sun would even be able to melt top-grade spirit artifact, much less these evil spirits. Howls sounded and the evil spirits were immediately melted away. Before Emo could breath, a figure dashed out of the Heaven Flame 9 Suns rapidly. It had a dark red color. Without a doubt, it was a very powerful evil spirit, or it wouldn't become dark red and ran from the Heaven Flame 9 Suns. Instantly, Emo chased over, not noticing that the evil spirits he killed didn't drop Immortal Demon Crystal. The dark red evil spirit was very fast, and moments later it appeared at the crossroad. Without hesitation, it chose one and went in. Emo looked at the 10-meter-tall black stone tablet by the side. It had the bloody words Demon Prison 3 Birth Bridge. Emo just hesitated a little and the dark red evil spirit disappeared in the bridge. Emo hesitated for a moment and came to the entrance of the path, but the dark red evil spirit was long gone. Emo chased for a few minutes and saw a curved bridge that wasn't big. It was only about 10 meters long and half a meter wide. With Emo's power, he could cross countless of these bridges in one step. But when Emo saw this bridge, he felt a little dizzy, as though something was coming out of the depth of his brain. It was extremely hard to even walk a step forward, much less cross the bridge. So powerful, although the dizziness disappeared after Emo started using the 3 birth chant, it was still eerie. Emo paused for a moment and immediately stepped foot on the bridge. He was ready to go in the Golden Page world at any time. The path of cultivation was arduous, and if Emo retreated today, then what if he had to go in the bridge next time? The instant he stepped foot on the bridge, he felt countless dark chi rush into his sea of consciousness. His sea of consciousness rumbled and became very chaotic. Emo actually walked another few steps forward rapidly. The next moment, he felt the bridge crack and countless bones surrounded him. Emo grunted, and his only sliver of conscious left made him immediately go in the Golden Page world. The instant he went in, he felt everything around him clear up. The terrifying dark demonic chi and the bones all disappeared. Emo panted and sat next to the bitter bamboo, using the 3 birth chant to remove the demonic chi in his sea of consciousness. A few seconds later, slivers of demonic chi were refined out and floated before his eyes. Seeing this, Emo was shook. With his cultivation essence and powerful spirit sense, these demonic chi could silently invade his sea of consciousness and almost made him lose himself on this bridge. No wonder Shan Bingfeng said that stepping on this, your 3 lifetimes would all be gone. Emo released a ball of flame, burning these demonic chi, and then threw out a surveillance formation. Emo saw from it clearly that the bridge was still there. There was no cracks nor endless bones. Such a powerful illusion and demonic chi, Emo exclaimed. He took a leaf from bitter bamboo and placed it in his mouth before appearing on the bridge again. Immediately, the countless demonic chi and illusion came over again, and the stone bridge beneath him seemed to be cracking again. This time Emo was prepared. He released Mist Lotus Heartfire while using 3 birth chant. As soon as Heaven Flame 9 Suns was released, a blue sun hung in the sky. Instantly, countless shadows appeared under it. Even Emo had goosebumps watching this. This was the first time he had seen so many evil spirits gathered together. Some were even near his back, but he didn't notice due to the disruptions from the demonic chi and illusion. Emo took a cold breath in. If all these evil spirits left the three-birth bridge and even the demon prison forbidden grounds, then Emo didn't dare to keep thinking. If that really happened, South Peace State would be over. He even saw a few dark red shadows amongst the evil spirits and frowned. His Heaven Flame 9 sons didn't seem to have adequate power against them. But even so, Emo couldn't care that much. No matter how much Heaven Flame 9 sons used up his spirit sense, Emo kept inserting cultivation essence and spirit sense into the mist lotus heart fire. With this, the blue sun exploded, terrifying blue rays covering the entire bridge. Countless evil spirits made a terrifying sharp scream before being disintegrated. However, Emo felt strange that despite knowing they would die, those evil spirits still came flying to the Heaven Flame 9 sons. Even the dark red evil spirit didn't dare to run away. Seeing this, Emo breathed easy and used more cultivation essence and spirit sense. The dark red evil spirit was powerful and fast, but if they didn't run in time, they would still be disintegrated under the Heaven Flame 9 sons. Just then, Emo noticed that below the bridge was a river of bones. This river was much bigger than the Bone River before. Emo scanned with spirit sense and soon found there was another branch upper stream. The Bone River he saw before was probably the branch, and this river beneath the bridge was the main river. Seeing countless evil spirits getting purged by the Heaven Flame 9 sons, Emo felt great. He took out 2 spirit recovery pills and ate it. In all of his moves, Heaven Flame 9 sons had the greatest toll on spirit sense. Only he could use such cultivation method. Other people wouldn't be able to last very long using it. Emo decided to use the spirit nourishing well to nourish his spirit sense. Only when his spirit sense grew more powerful would his power increase too. As Emo ate the 2 pills, the Heaven Flame 9 sons exploded out even deeper blue color. At this moment, Emo suddenly felt his spirit sense drain up. The Heaven Flame 9 sons devoured his spirit sense that he just recovered clean, and before he could react, he felt the sun emit an glaring blue ray. Moments later, a second sun was born in the blue light. Emo rejoiced. He didn't cultivate the second sun. Heaven Flame 9 sons gave birth to it itself. His Heaven Flame 9 sons upgraded. According to Emo's understanding, if his Mist Lotus Heart fire didn't reach purple, the power of Heaven Flame 9 sons won't increase much even if he had 2 sons. But now that the second sun appeared, he knew he was greatly wrong. The second sun that appeared itself was much more powerful than the sun he cultivated. Emo quickly ate a few more spirit recovery pills and barely stabilized the 2 suns with a pale face. One was eye-piercing blue and another was daisy red. When he calmed down, he realized that the countless demonic chi and evil spirits all disappeared. They were completely disintegrated by Heaven Flame 9 sons. Emo put away the Heaven Flame 9 sons side. No one dared to step foot on the 3-birth bridge since antiquity, but now, he was standing here unaffected. The countless bones had disappeared and the evil spirits and demonic chi were also gone. The 3-birth bridge was so-so. But other than him, who would have the Golden Page world? Bitter Bamboo and Heaven Flame 9 sons? The only thing Emo didn't understand was why did these evil spirits not escape and instead came rushing at the Heaven Flame 9 sons? The only explanation was that someone set the bridge, not allowing cultivators to pass. Or perhaps the powerful being didn't expect there would be someone like Emo in this world. Emo walked across the bridge. It was just like an ordinary bridge now. On the other side, Emo saw a hill that was like a grave. The hill was dark and Emo couldn't scan his spirit sense in. Emo flung out a lightning casually. The seal was clearly weak and was completely destroyed. After opening, there was a skeleton inside. Who would be this bored? Sealing a skeleton. After looking at the skeleton, Emo felt his skin crawl. It had been dead for countless years, but there was still a rotting smell and there were countless insects crawling around. Emo stared at the bugs and suddenly felt he had seen the bones somewhere before. Fire-eating bugs? Emo just thought of this name and he heard a laughter. Emo was shook and retreated a few steps as he found the one laughing was the skeleton. Ha ha ha! The laugh sounded more crazy and didn't even look at Emo. Chujiu. I, Bug Demon, am still alive. What about you? I don't believe you can still appear before me. The voice was like leaking wine, sounding very ear-piercing, but Emo heard it clearly. Bug demon. Emo looked at the fire-eating bugs and asked heavily, "You're the fire-eating bug demon that dominated Luo Yu continent 10,000 years ago? Weren't you killed by Chu Jiu Qianbei? How are you still alive?" The fire-eating bug demon used mature fire-eating bugs and was invincible. He killed countless people. He had no reason to kill, he did so completely based on his mood. Chu Jiu Qianbei? Just because of those words I'm going to kill you today. But before I kill you, answer my questions and I can leave you a complete corpse. The laugh stopped from the skeleton. Wait, how did you get here? The skeleton seemed to have remembered where this was. Emo didn't answer him and silently let out Shadowless. I broke your seal, or you would still be laying in that coffin. I don't expect to repay me with gratitude, but before I answer you, I want to ask you a few questions. A mere truth realization state level 3 small thing, how dare you? Is my name not fearsome enough? The skeleton saw Emo wasn't shocked at all and was confused. His name was enough to make babies cry at night. There were countless cultivators who died to him. There was a large sum of sex he annihilated. Other than that absurd Chu Jiu who didn't fear him. Emo asked, "You sealed yourself, right? You escaped from Chu Jiu Qianbei and didn't dare to go out, so you hid here. You were afraid of your bones being completely eroded by demonic chi, so you sealed yourself. I underestimated you. You reached truth realization state at such a young age, and you know I sealed myself." The bug demon studied Emo. Emo seemed calm on the surface, but he was very shocked. He was shocked not because the bug demon was alive, but how did he cross the three-birth bridge? Emo said plainly, "This means that if I didn't break your seal, you wouldn't be able to come out at all." The bug demon sneered, "Even if you don't come, I can break the seal in another hundreds. What I'm confused is, how can you cross the three-birth bridge with a mere truth realization state level 3 power? How could ordinary people cross the three-birth bridge?" He was forced nowhere to go by Chu Jiu. Luckily, he had a level 12 fire-eating bug. He gave up his past life and future life and rested his present life. His essence spirit in the fire-eating bug. The fire-eating bug died, but he barely survived. The reason he was confident in going out was because he had an ancient space transmission rune. With this, Emo knew his guess was right. Seeing Yemo's shock, fire-eating bug demon said impatiently, "Answer a few questions and I'll give you a complete corpse. First, has Chu Jiu died? Second, the entrance to the demon prison Forbidden Grounds is sealed. How did you come in and how did you cross the three-birth bridge?" Emo got what he wanted and no longer had the patience to talk to this bug demon. He released Zisu and hacked over. Seeing that he didn't even attack and this mere truth realization state level 3 dared to attack him, the bug demon was furious. The dense clutter of fire-eating bugs charged at Emo. Thud. The bug demon used his hand to stop Zisu. Crack. Fire-eating bug demon took a few steps back. He looked at his bones in disbelief. His hand was hacked off a piece by this truth realization state insect's kitchen knife. Were all the cultivators this powerful now? A mere truth realization state level 3 was this powerful? What if he encountered truth realization state tertiary stage and truth realization state peak stage? He must quickly recover his power. Fire-eating bug demon felt his body shaking, and before he could react, he felt the slowness around his body. "Domain?" Fire-eating bug demon said in shock. Without hesitation, he ran his cultivation essence like crazy, and his spirit sense urged the fire-eating bugs to devour Emo. The fire-eating bug sped up. Emo let Shadowless bid its time on the side. He released Heaven Flame 9 Suns. He was worried the Heaven Flame 9 Suns wouldn't be able to annihilate the bugs. The bugs devoured fire and his Heaven Flame was also fire. Seeing Emo release flames, the fire-eating bug demon sneered but didn't talk. If his fire-eating bug were scared of fire, then they wouldn't be called fire-eating bugs. Crack. Emo's domain had cracked and the fire-eating bug demon expanded out his own domain. He cursed that his power was greatly diminished. Otherwise, how could he be scared of a truth realization state level 3? At this moment, a blue sun hung in the air and fire-eating bug demon's windpipe voice sounded, "Mist Lotus Heart Fire. Heaven Flame 9 Suns. You got the black-yellow 5-element print. Where did you get Old Man Hong's Mist Lotus Heart Fire? His fire-eating bug made popping sounds under the heaven flame 9 suns, and soon they turned to dust. Emo breathed easy. He felt strange. These fire-eating bugs had lived for so long. Why were they so weak? But then, he immediately realized what was going on. No matter how powerful they were, they would be starving to death after all these years without nourishment of fire. His heaven flame 9 suns was blue sun now. How could ordinary fire-eating bugs survive under it? But what was the black-yellow 5-element print? Was it the basic 5 elements magic he got before? Seeing all his fire-eating bugs being burned by Yemo's heaven flame, the fire-eating bug demon was very anxious. He didn't expect a random low-level cultivator he encountered would be this insane. Even though his bugs had stared for countless years, he could easily annihilate a truth realization state peak stage. These bugs were his lifeline. Losing one was unacceptable. If he recovered their power, he wouldn't be afraid of Yemo's heaven flame and heaven flame 9 suns. Thinking about this, the fire-eating bug demon wanted to run. He didn't want to fight to death with Yemo here. This young truth realization state level 3 cultivator was too eerie. His cultivation essence and spirit sense were extremely powerful, and more scarily, his domain was on par with his. The fire-eating bug demon ran his domain like crazy and used his only remaining cultivation essence to support his bugs while secretly preparing the space transmission rune. Emo noticed that the fire-eating bug demon seemed to want to run, but he was stopped by the fire-eating bugs. They didn't last, but there were too many of them, and with the support of the fire-eating bug demon's cultivation essence, they lasted longer. Heaven Flame 9 Suns was too taxing on his spirit sense, so he couldn't free himself up to attack the fire-eating bug demon. He immediately called out, "Bug demon, did you hide a gourd and there's a lot of fire-eating bugs inside?" When he killed Infinity Sect Ming Wujian, he used fire-eating bugs. Perhaps they belonged to this old guy's. However, as soon as he said this, the fire-eating bug demon went crazy and charged at Emo Insect. "I'm going to tear you apart." Emo guessed right, the gourd belonged to the fire-eating bug demon. It was his foundation for rising to the top again. However, Ming Wujian found it and used it against Emo. In the end, they were all annihilated by Emo. Emo wasn't afraid of the fire-eating bug demon charging at him. He was afraid of the skeleton running away. Emo released Zisu again despite not having enough spirit sense. This was an opportunity. Even if his spirit sense gets injured, he would kill this old guy. Emo sighed. If he didn't waste too much spirit sense on the 3-birth bridge, things wouldn't be so hard now. The fire-eating bug demon charged a few steps and stopped. He used his bones to stop Zisu. He waved his hand and countless fire-eating bugs charged at Emo for him. They formed a semicircle around Emo. The Heaven Flame 9 Suns was powerful, but Emo needed more than 10 seconds to burn them all. During that time, the inner layer of bugs were enough to devour him. Although his God-state body refinement didn't fear the devouring of the bugs, but he felt disgusted thinking about being bitten. Emo was shook at how much bugs the skeleton had. He didn't dare to keep letting Shadowless hide. He signaled and Shadowless charged up too. Zisu hacked open the fire-eating bug flock and an empty space opened up before Emo. The flock flew around everywhere and body parts splashed around. It was very revolting, and just when Emo wanted to give the fire-eating bug demon a strike too, he sensed danger. Before he could retreat, there was a huge sound. Emo wasn't even prepared to go in the Golden Page world. He was completely surrounded by this explosion. He realized that the fire-eating bug demon made the flock surround him and self-destruct. Seeing his plan succeed, the fire-eating bug demon rejoiced. He knew that Emo was experienced as he was and thus took the blow. Even an immortal would probably only have a life left after that blast. The only thing was he used up too many fire-eating bugs this time. Just when he was rejoiced, he suddenly felt his bones go cold. His essence spirit was being devoured by something. Before he could react, another purple ray hacked over. This truth realization state level 3 wasn't dead. He was completely fine too. This time, the fire-eating bug demon was truly shocked. His fury before was half fake. He wanted to lower Yemo's vigilance. The fire-eating bug demon felt his essence spirit being torn apart. He ran his cultivation essence like crazy, wanting to force out the thing devouring his essence spirit. Shadowless bug. The fire-eating bug demon soon knew what was in his body. He was shaking, he deigned to have flesh. If Shadowless devoured his essence spirit, he would dying a very painful death. He even detonated part of his essence spirit and forced Shadowless out. At the same time, he activated the space transmission rune without hesitation. Crack. Zisu hacked on the fire-eating bug demon. Half of his body split apart. A dim gray light flashed and the rest of the fire-eating bug demon's body disappeared in the gray light. Emo looked at the shoulder of bones he cut off. If the fire-eating bug demon's domain was a little weaker, then he wouldn't be able to escape. However, this old thing got away. However, he was going to kill this guy outside no matter what, he was too much of a trouble. Emo waved his hand and the rest of the bones turned to dust in flames. Then he ate 2 more spirit recovery pills. Using the heaven flame 9 suns consecutively was quite a toll on him. Little did Emo know that the fire-eating bug demon was more annoyed. He thought he met a truth realization state level 3 insect that he could abuse. However, this truth realization state level 3 insect was too absurd. He not only had Heaven Flame but also knew Heaven Flame 9 suns, that powerful domain and shadowless. Even his kitchen knife was that deadly. How was there such a cultivator in this world? Even Chu Jiu was far weaker than this absurd young cultivator when he was truth realization state level 3. Not only did he not kill this truth realization state level 3, but he lost 90% of his bugs and half of his body. He even lost a fifth of his essence spirit. To him now, the most important thing was finding a place to recover. He swore that if he didn't recover to his prime, he would hide as far away as he could when he saw that young truth realization state level 3. Black yellow 5 element print? Emo picked up that painting and didn't find anything strange about it. It was just still an ordinary painting of mountain and river. Emo shook his head and put the painting away. If it really was something good, he wouldn't be able to get it. Why didn't someone like Shui Yufeng not take the painting? Emo continued to go further in. Emo noticed that the earth and rocks around him were all black. He couldn't see any marks of formation, but his spirit sense could only scan a few kilometers. The reason Emo kept going in was because he felt there was space seal in here. The seal flags were definitely on this side of the bridge. No one other than him could come here. This was the safest place to put the seal flags. Emo didn't go very far along the black broken road. In less than 6 minutes, Emo saw a black mountain. There was the words Demon Prison Peak on it. The peak was empty and there weren't any plants nor even rubbles on it. There was a road paved with blue rocks below it. It extended into the distance where Emo's spirit sense couldn't scan. The blue road seemed quite outstanding in this background of black. Emo stopped, his sixth sense was impeccable. He was also a level 9 formation grandmaster, so he immediately felt there was something with this peak. It didn't seem like a peak, it was more like a formation. Emo released Zisu and hacked at the peak. Rumble. After a huge thud, Emo felt he hacked in mid-air instead of a peak. Purple ray splashed and the black peak disappeared. A huge light pillar appeared before Emo and there was a huge 8-trigram disc inside. Space seal flag? Emo called out shakily. He was shaking not because he found a way to let South Peace State cultivators Immortal ascend, but there were nearly 1,000 Immortal crystals inside. There was less than Sand River, but if Emo could get all of it, he didn't need to worry about reaching Truth Realization State peak stage at all. Even though he was Truth Realization State level 3, if he didn't have Immortal crystals, then he might still be Truth Realization State when Xianxia and them Immortal ascended. Emo would rather ascend himself first and create a safe environment for Xianxia and them to meet up. Emo calmed down. Since he found Immortal crystals, he couldn't miss out on this. Otherwise, who knows when he would find the next one. The 2 times before, the flags escaped under his attacks. How should he keep the flag this time? Emo subconsciously looked around and thought, if he set up a space seal formation, would he be able to stop the seal flag? Thinking about this, Emo knew this was the only way he had despite not being sure if he could stop it. This way, he would either get nothing or everything. Emo hesitated and decided to try. Emo started forging formation flags. He didn't hold back on materials, he used all of the high-level materials to make formation flags. They were worth nothing compared to 1,000 immortal crystals. Emo used 4 days and set up a space lock formation around the seal flag. This was level 9 peak. This was the limit of his formation due to skills and materials. He knew that if he didn't do it right, the seal flag might explode instead. If it did, the power would be huge. If he couldn't get in Golden Page World at the right time, he might be seriously injured even with his God State body refinement. He was going to make the seal flag automatically hide into space and then get blocked by his space lock formation. The most important thing wasn't to stop the seal flag but dragging it into his Golden Page World. Otherwise, it was impossible to keep all the immortal crystals in the seal flag. If the seal flag went into his Golden Page World, it would be completely under his control. So when Emo set up the space lock formation, he also set up a transmission formation. He wasn't sure if his power was enough to move the seal flag into the Golden Page World. After everything was ready, Emo hacked open the light pillar. Before Emo even went in, immortal spirit chi seeped out. After Emo went in, he threw tens of formation flags there before the crevice could seal. Then he started taking immortal crystals from inside. The instant Emo tried to do that, the space hiding mechanism was activated. Emo was swept out by the seal flag in a rumble. However, Emo jumped in the air instead and threw out tens more formation flags. The formation flags inside the seal flag resonated with the flags outside. Emo threw down the main formation flag. The stealth disc and few thousand immortal crystals were revealed. However, this disc was about to charge out of Emo's space lock formation. Emo was shook. He immediately knew his space lock formation couldn't stop the seal flag. It would at most slow it down. If he didn't add another slowing formation before, it would have broken free already. Emo quickly released Golden Page World and released the transmission formation. Before, he could even move the entire sect mountain of Lightning Cloud Sect and Infinity Sect, but now, Emo's actions only slowed down the seal flag. It was still escaping towards outside. Emo was worried. If he continued, he definitely wouldn't be able to take the formation flag and his efforts would have been for nothing. In his desperation, Emo released his domain. The seal flag seemed to slow down a little more, but it was impossible to take into his Golden Page World. There seemed to be an invisible force drawing the seal flag away. Emo burned his essence blood like crazy while using spirit sense blades one after another. He wanted to hack away the power drawing the flag away. What made Emo rejoiced was that his spirit sense blades didn't miss. There seemed to be tens of fine strands of power that his spirit sense blades cut. Finally, Emo couldn't resist spitting blood due to spirit sense exhaustion. However, he rejoiced instead as the flag was completely stopped. When he drew the seal flag again, it was taken into the Golden Page World after the combined effort of his spirit sense and the formation. But in the process, the seal flag shook and 10 immortal crystals fell from it, landing on the floor. Emo panted and ate a few pills with an exhausted face. He just wanted to pick up the immortal crystals when he felt a rumble beneath him. Such a familiar rustle. Emo immediately thought of when he broke the second seal flag in West Extreme State. Emo immediately knew that the immortal ascension restriction of South P State was removed. Emo panted. He didn't need other people to thank him. The seal flag was more important to him. After recovering his spirit sense, Emo picked up the immortal crystals. On contact, Emo immediately felt that familiar immortal spirit chi. He even admired himself a little now. He needed to find a place to recover first and then count just how many immortal crystals he got. Thinking about this, a few dashing lights suddenly came at him and instantly landed nearby him. Jing Ingli. Emo saw it was Jing Ingli whom he collaborated with before. In a few years, she was Hollow Spirit State peak stage, just one step away from body condensation state. But how could she be so fast? Then Emo immediately saw the rune tied to her leg. It was actually 2 truth realization state behind her. It was the 2 heartless sea truth realization state cultivators he saw before. This was the first time he had seen 2 truth realization state cultivators chase a hollow spirit state cultivator. Seeing Emo, there was surprise and joy in her eyes. Emo? You're here indeed. Help me. The two heard this and laughed. They thought she used a top-grade mobility rune to run away, but instead she came looking for the help of this truth realization state level 3. They had seen this truth realization state level 3 before. How do you know I'm here? Emo asked in confusion. Before she could talk, the two truth realization states looked at Emo's hand in shock. Immortal crystals. It's actually really immortal crystals. The truth realization state level 6 said. Emo put them away and said to Jingli, come to my side first. You can tell me what happened later. You're injured. Jingli saw Emo's pale face. Emo smiled. Even though I'm injured, two mere truth realization states are no threat to me. Seeing Emo put away the crystals. Even if Emo didn't say anything, they weren't going to let Emo go. The truth realization state level 6 sneered. A mere truth realization state level 3 and you think you're great. Your cultivation speed it quite fast. Let me see how you're outstanding. Then, the truth realization state level 6 released his black mace. There were countless spikes that shot towards Emo. Jingli could only see the spikes but not Emo at all. The killing intent made her keep retreating. Emo smiled and waved his hand. The countless spikes seemed to have slowed down and then gathered in the middle. Jingli panted and stopped. She looked at Emo with complication. The first time she saw Emo, her cultivation level was higher than Emo. She was a prodigy and reached Hollow Spirit State peak stage in a few years, but when she heard of Emo's news again, he already killed 9 Truth Realization State Qianbais. The Truth Realization State level 6 was shook a little and used more cultivation essence, wanting to envelope Emo with the spikes. However, the next moment he was dumbfounded. He found it was hard to even move his body. A Truth Realization State level 3 bound him was domain? What was this? Just when he wanted to escape, he saw a purple ray hack open from his head. A vibrant red exploded amidst the purple beam. Seeing the Truth Realization State level 6 not even last one move to Emo, the Truth Realization State primary stage was dumbfounded. He didn't dare to believe his eyes. How could there be such a Truth Realization State level 3 cultivator? Even a Truth Realization State peak stage wouldn't be able to kill a Truth Realization State level 6 in one move. When he realized this was reality, Zissou had already hacked out again. In his desperation, he wanted to use blood mobility, but then he realized he was too slow. When he felt he was bound by Yemo's powerful domain, he realized why his friend didn't even last one move. They couldn't even more in there. After the sword light, this Truth Realization State primary stage perished too. Jingli looked at Yemo in extreme shock. She knew Yemo's power. She thought that it was after a battle that Yemo killed 11 Truth Realization State cultivators, but now, Yemo killed 2 Truth Realization State cultivators in seconds and they couldn't even resist. Yemo's power was far beyond her imagination. This was when he was injured. What if he wasn't? Who could injure Yemo? Yemo put away Zissou and ate another spirit recovery pill. He felt his spirit sense was powerful but not enough for him anymore. He had to improve his spirit sense quickly. Yemo. Jingli sighed. I didn't expect you've reached this level. Compared to you, I'm too trash. Yemo smiled. Don't be like that. Your talent is on par with that Yuan Guanan, but you're just more low-key. Not everyone had Time Formation Disc, 3 Birth Chant, Bitter Bamboo and Immortal Crystals. His cultivation speed had nothing to do with his talent. Jingli laughed. She knew Yemo wasn't comforting her. She felt bad. Luckily Yemo wasn't a South Peace State 10 beauty or she would feel worse. She was ugly but she was very competitive. She has even never been self-conscious of her looks. How did you know I'm here? Yemo asked again. Those who went on the 3 birth bridge would die for sure. How did Jingli dare to go on? Jingli smiled. When I charged on the bridge, I never planned to live, but I guessed right. She explained. Now that the Forbidden Grounds opened, countless cultivators rushed in. Most of them went to the plains and there were indeed many demonic spirits there. Many cultivators formed squads to find Immortal Demon Crystal, so did I. I heard from someone that you didn't go in the plains and was still at Bone River. I left the squad to come find you. Jingli quickly explained. I'm about to reach body condensation state. I need some pills. You promised me before. Yemo nodded, so that's it. But why were you chased by 2 truth realization state cultivators? Jing Yingli smiled. When I got back to the Bone River, I saw all the bones had disappeared and I found a storage ring there. Inside, I found this ore. Then, she took out a purple ore and gave it to Yimo. I don't know what it is, but it's searing hot. Seeing this ore, Yimo's eyes went red. This was the exact same one as the ore he got from the Chu 18 discs. The one he got was faint blue and he used that to bring Mist Lotus Heartfire to blue. This ore was purple. Didn't that mean it could upgrade his Mist Lotus Heartfire to purple? The higher level, the harder it was to upgrade rare flames. If he didn't get the blue ore, his heaven flame would still be red. Ever since it became blue, he couldn't upgrade it no matter what. Jing Yingli had a smart mind, and looking at Yimo's expression, she knew that the ore was very important to Yimo. She put it in his hand without hesitation. This ore has no use to me, you can have it. Yimo could tell that Jing Yingli knew what he wanted, and he said awkwardly, did the 2 truth realization states see the ore, and thus they chased you? Jing Yingli nodded yes. One of them said level 11 rare flame purple marrow. I immediately knew things weren't good, but luckily I had a level 9 mobility rune. I immediately activated it, but despite so, I was almost caught. If Jing Yingli didn't see him, she wouldn't be able to get away even with mobility rune. Yimo admired her quick reaction. Ordinary cultivators would think that handing over the ore, they would be able to survive, but Jing Yingli knew that she would still die even if she handed over. How could 2 truth realization states let out news that they robbed Hollow Spirit State Cultivator? Level 11 or rare flame purple marrow? Yimo repeated. He knew that level 11 ores in the cultivation realm were nearly immortal grade. Jing Yingli continued. I knew that no matter which way I ran it would result in death, so the only place I could choose was 3 Birth Bridge. However, I was actually fine going on it. Seeing I was fine, the 2 chased over too. Luckily, I met you and escaped. She explained, to be honest, since you weren't at the plain nor the Bone River. I knew you probably came to the 3 Birth Bridge. You would definitely go a place others didn't dare to go. Even if you were to go the Sand River, it would be after the 3 Birth Bridge. Yimo sweated. He just realized that Jing Yingli knew him much better than most people despite not staying with her for long. She was too smart. Yimo took the ore and said, this is indeed very useful to me because it can upgrade Heaven Flame. Thank you. Jing Yingli smiled, you've helped me a lot too. You don't need to thank me for this. Plus, if I didn't meet you today, I would have been killed. Yimo said seriously, Martial Sister Yingli, you helped me more, to be honest. Without your help, I wouldn't be able to reach this level, so I need to thank you more. Then, Yimo took out a few more jade bottles and said, these are pills for your future cultivation. I'm afraid sometimes you won't be able to find me, so I've prepared it all for you. If it wasn't for her, he wouldn't be able to escape Truthfall Palace. Nor would he know about going to Pill City and meeting Lu Wuhu. Then, he wouldn't be able to find the Herb King Spirit Range and not get the Time Formation Disc. Without the Time Formation Disc, he would at most be a Hollow Spirit State Cultivator now. Seeing Yimo call her Martial Sister now, Jing Yingli also smiled. Martial Brother Yi. I only need 1 break spirit pill. You gave me so much I probably won't need it all. Then Jing Yingli opened a bottle. When she saw the pill, she called out in shock, Kuin filling pill. She seemed to have realized something and opened all the other bottles. She was shocked completely. Break spirit pill was the lowest here. The rest were expensive just by looking at the names. Dew condensation pill, cauldron essence pill, disaster will pill, truth carrot pill. She couldn't even recognize stalagmite benefit pill. This is too much, Jing Yingli said. Yimo waved his hand. I know you've been finding cultivation resources yourself. Otherwise, with your talent, you would be body condensation state now. These pills can save you large amounts of time. If I'm not wrong, South Peace State cultivators can immortal ascend now. So work hard and reach truth realization state. South Peace State can immortal ascension now? What did Yimo mean? She quickly thought and connected the dots. Yimo was injured, the loud bang. Was the immortal ascension also related to Yimo? But she didn't ask. Yimo didn't say anything. Yimo took out another 10 immortal crystals and gave it to her. You can have these. Jing Yingli was shook and quickly rejected. Martial Brother Yi. I can't have them. Immortal crystals were something even truth realization state wanted. How could she take it? Emo was too generous? Luckily she knew Emo was not romantically interested in her at all, or she would even think Emo was into her. Emo just placed the immortal crystals on her hand and said, "Remember, only when your power is high enough you can help others. Perhaps if you're powerful one day you can help me." Jing Yingli dazed and didn't reject this time. She took the immortal crystals and "Thank you, Martial Brother Yi." The dense, immortal spirit chi made her almost moan out of joy. She was certain that, with these things, her cultivation path would be a different story. Jing Yingli was very talented and educated. No one could teach her. When the Golden Core State Hall of Fame No. 2 Xiao Fei proposed to her, she said, "You don't desert me," and this made Xiao Fei leave in shame. But today, she was truly thankful to Emo. She knew Emo was different to those big sect members. He fought out every step of the way himself. He had no support. His teaching was from his own experience, and it made her feel the value of it. Emo had thousands of immortal crystals, and so he didn't mind giving 10 to her. Her talent was absurd, and she was very smart. Now that he helped her, one day she might be able to help him too. "Let me see which way this path leads to." Emo nodded and suddenly looked dazedly at the gray area ahead. "What's wrong, Martial Brother Yi?" Jing Yingli asked in confusion. Emo frowned and didn't speak. He clearly saw a blue rock road here before. It was gone now. "When you came here, did you see a road?" Emo asked her. Jing Yingli said in astonishment, "No. When I came you were the only one here." Where's a dull gray space?" Emo had a subtle sense of danger reminding him that this wasn't the place to stay. Emo put away his formation flag and said, Jing Yingli, "Let's go. Something's not right here." Jing Yingli looked at Emo in confusion. Emo never feared danger. Why was he like this? Seeing this, Emo didn't explain and just took her to retreat. When they left the three-berth bridge, Emo started setting up formation. He set up a level 9 trap formation, sealing the way to here. Emo's sixth was very accurate. The three-berth bridge gave him a sense of danger, but it wasn't lethal. However, the disappeared blue road gave him an extreme sense of danger. "I'm going to the plain to find Silver Moon Pill King. Are you going with me or going back for solitary cultivation?" Emo asked. Jing Yingli got this many pills and immortal crystals. Theoretically, she should go to solitary cultivation. But she said without hesitation, "I'll go with you. I don't feel safe going out here alone." Emo nodded. "Indeed. I don't feel the Forbidden Grounds is as peaceful as we see it. The other side of the bridge gave me a very eerie feeling. By the way, Martial Brother Yi, why don't I feel the three-berth bridge is as scary as the legends?" Jing Yingli knew it was probably to do with Emo, but she still couldn't help asking. Emo smiled, "Because I crossed it first. Otherwise, the two truth realization state won't be able to appear on the other side." Just when she wanted to speak, she saw a cultivator run out from the plains crazily while shouting, "Let go of me! Let go of me!" It was a body condensation state cultivator, and in a second, the cultivator turned into a pile of bones. The terrifying thing was his skin and hair were still there, but his flesh completely disappeared. Even Jing Yingli was scared, retreating a few steps behind Emo. Emo frowned and threw out a flame. A faint shadow screamed and disappeared. Jing Yingli also saw the gnarly shadow amongst the flame. Jing Yingli asked in shock, "Demonic spirit? Can't they be scanned by spirit sense?" "This isn't demonic spirit." Emo shook his head. He realized what was to come will eventually come. The demon prison Forbidden Grounds will become the nightmare of South Peace State cultivators. Immortal demon crystals were good, but nevertheless, this wasn't a place ordinary cultivators could come. "Then what is it?" Jing Yingli couldn't resist asking. Emo said heavily, "This is evil spirit, the lowest level evil spirit. Even the lowest level can easily kill body condensation state?" Jing Yingli asked in shock. "That's right, the high-level ones are dark gray, even higher ones are faint red. If it's dark red, then it can easily kill truth realization state cultivators. You can't see it with spirit sense, but I can." Emo answered. Jing Yingli asked, "How do you know? You've seen them before?" Emo nodded. That's right, when I crossed the three-birth bridge I almost died there. The illusion formation of the bridge works with the evil spirits. I encountered more than 10,000 evil spirits and tens of them were dark red ones. Huh! Jingingly looked at Emo in disbelief. If she didn't know that Emo disliked bluffing and wanted to speak smaller of things, she would think Emo was lying. But she knew Emo was telling the truth. Otherwise, it wouldn't be so peaceful for her crossing the three-birth bridge. Emo smiled. The reason I can kill 10,000 evil spirits is not because I can kill 10,000 truth realization state cultivators. It's hard to compare. Evil spirits fear flames. I have heaven flame. Plus, the evil spirits there were very strange. I was killing them but they charged up to let me kill. Otherwise, I can't kill that many. However, these evil spirits are different to the ones I've seen before. They can instantly devour the flesh of a cultivator. They probably didn't rush up to get killed by you. They probably wanted to kill you to protect something. They didn't expect you were that stronger, however. Jing Ingli said. Emo nodded. You're very smart. They're probably protecting something. Emo stopped. He thought of a problem. What were they protecting? Was it the flag he wanted to take away? That wasn't right. The seal flag definitely wasn't as old as the demon prison Forbidden Grounds itself. What were the evil spirits protecting then? Thinking about this, Emo even wanted to go back there and check. Never mind. I should quickly find Silver Moon Pill King Qianbei. He must not be in danger. Emo decided to find Yu Qichao first. He might not be able to protect himself. After going into the demon plains, the two realized how bad the situation was. There were bones and skins everywhere. Storage ring, magic artifact everywhere. So many people are dead. Jingingly took a cold breath in. If she was here too, she would have been dead. Emo accelerated and expanded his spirit sense out. Despite his spirit sense being compressed to the extreme, he could still see everything with a 10 km radius. There were more and more bodies on the way. There were constantly howls of pain. Every howl meant another cultivator dead. The two also encountered some evil spirits, but they all disintegrated by Yemo's fireball. This belongs to my abstruse sound sect. Jingingly pointed at a pile of bones and said. Yemo's heart was skipping. Abstruse sound sect was 9-star sect. They would definitely have truth realization state coming. If even people from that sect died, what about Yu Qichao who went in even earlier? He hoped Yu Qichao would be able to use rare flames against the evil spirits. In a place 100 kilometers from Emo, there were near 1,000 cultivators squeezed together. There was a fire circle in front of them and the cultivators were in this circle. However, this circle was a little small. Some cultivators were at the border of the fire circle. There were full of skeletons outside the flaming circle. Those were cultivators who were devoured before they could get in. There were a few cultivators who saw this and wanted to charge over, but none of them could come in. Staying too long outside meant getting devoured by the invisible shadow. The cultivators inside were all worried. If they could regret, they would never come here. That invisible thing was too powerful. Who said they could find demonic spirits with spirit sense? Those things attacking them were invisible. The cultivators at the border could even see some faint shadows. The shadows seemed to know there were a lot of cultivators inside the circle and didn't want to leave. But they were also afraid of the flames and didn't dare to get near. The cultivators at the border were more scared, fearing they would be dragged out. The Lee fire formation was only that big. Unavoidably, people were near the border of the formation. In order to prevent people fighting over land and causing chaos, the two truth realization state cultivators said that anyone who dares to rob space would be thrown out. With this, everyone circled their own land. This way, those who came in first got more space and was further away from the border. Everyone take out their spirit stones and let Lin Qianbei use them. The Li fire formation needs large sums of spirit stones. Without spirit stones, the formation would collapse and we would all die. One truth realization state cultivator said. With this, many cultivators took out their spirit stones and soon there was a pile of spirit stones next to an old man with formation flags. Xiaozhen and I don't have spirit stones, a man said worriedly. This cultivator was Yu Eru. The evil spirit incident occurred and they followed the place where most people were going. Because of Chang Nana's extreme grade flying spirit artifact, they were the first to enter the formation. Yu Eru and Lu Xiaojun didn't have a lot of spirit stones, and even if they did, they were useless low-grade spirit stones and middle-grade spirit stones. If Chang Nana didn't take them, they wouldn't even have spirit stones for teleportation formation. They were the poorest of the cultivators here. Before Chang Nana said anything, a cultivator sneered, "What are you staying here for, when you don't have spirit stones? Piss off. 2 mere cauldron-filling state dare to come to demon prison forbidden grounds." The 3 came early and took over a big piece of land. The cultivators next to them didn't get as much land as Chang Nana. They were closer to the border, so if Lu Xiaojun and Yu Eru went out, they would have more space. "What do you mean? I'll pay their spirit stones." Chang Nana sneered and took out a few thousand more top-grade spirit stones. The cultivator sneered, "Who said you can do that? We all took out all of our spirit stones for the formation, yet you have more to pay for someone else." Chang Nana's face sunk. "Are you starting trouble? I don't believe you took out all your spirit stones." However, there was nothing she could do. They were clearly hollow spirit state or above. Friends, these 2 foundation establishment state clearly have storage devices but don't even want to take out a single spirit stones. Although Qian Bei has set up this formation, the formation needs everyone's efforts. If everyone is like them, how can we stop the demonic spirits? The hollow spirit state saluted with his fists and said loudly. However, he was looking at the 2 truth realization state cultivators. The 2 truth realization state didn't seem to hear this and just looked outside. No one wanted to speak out for this. No one would care if 2 foundation establishment state died, but no one wanted to push them out at this time. It was a terrible death, and the 2 only had storage bags. Clearly they were extremely poor. Some cultivators felt pity. "Since everyone agrees, then I will attack." The hollow spirit state saluted with his fists and was about to grab Yu Eru. Lu Xiaozhu took out 10 middle-grade spirit stones. "I have some middle-grade spirit stones here." The hollow spirit state said, "Now you take them out too late." "Stop," Chang Nana said coldly. "Do you know who he is? He is Mou City Lord's disciple. If you dare to touch him, what happened to Lightning Cloud Sect and Infinity Sect will happen to you." The hollow spirit state dazed and laughed. "So this means, you're from Mou City too?" "That's right. I'm City Lord Ye's sister-in-law." No one believed Chang Nana's words. Yu Eru was Yi Mo's disciple? How wealthy was Yi Mo? And he was City Lord. How could he have a disciple that couldn't even take a top-grade spirit stones? This was too much of a joke. Plus, no one has heard that City Lord Yi had a brother. But speaking of Yi Mo's name, even the 2 truth realization state cultivators looked at Chang Nana in shock, wanting to confirm if her words were true. What everyone didn't expect was, the hollow spirit state cultivator laughed. "What is Mou City? What thing is City Lord Yi?" To him, if his sect Qian Bais were here, he wouldn't even care about the 2 truth realization states here. Most cultivators looked at this cultivator in shock. Was his sect more powerful than Infinity Sect and even Pill City? Some cultivators already realized that this hollow spirit state probably didn't come from South Peace State. A South Peace State would definitely know Mou City and never dare to say what thing is Yi Mo. "Let go of Eru. We'll go out ourselves," Chang Nana said coldly. Then she pulled the 2 and said, "Eru, let's go." There was despair in Yu Eru's eyes. He had a lighter view on life and death after this many years of unable to break through. But he was about to see his master, and now he was going to die. Eru shook his head. "I'll go out with Xiaojun, you can stay here. If we all go out, who will tell Master to get revenge for us? If you keep stalling, I'm going to attack." The hollow spirit state added. "Nana," Lu Xiaozun said worriedly. Chang Nana shook her head. "Don't worry. I have a way to escape." She did have a way. She also had a fire element magic artifact, a low-grade cultivation artifact Li Fire Tent. She got it when she was at Lu Chao City searching for Yi Zifeng. But it didn't match with her element, so she rarely used it. There's a Li fire formation ahead, and nearly 1,000 cultivators. These people are smart, but no matter how powerful Li fire formation is, it can only last so long. Yi Mo said. Then Yi Mo said in shock, "Nana is here? Why don't she go in the formation? Why is she using a fire tent magic artifact? Who is Nana? Jing Ingli asked in confusion. But Yimo's face changed and he sped up. He found there were 3 people inside, including Eru and Xiaozhen. If Chang Nana was hollow spirit state or body condensation state, she might be able to use it to escape the forbidden grounds, but she was only nascent soul state middle stage. She clearly didn't have even power to protect the 3. She couldn't even move. Chang Nana's face was pale as she inserted her spirit sense and cultivation essence into the magic artifact. She knew she wouldn't be able to last a day. Yu Eru and Lu Xiaozhen were desperate, but there was nothing they could do to help. At this moment, they felt their surroundings light up as though becoming an ocean of blue. Jing Ingli saw Yimo use Heaven Flame 9 Suns and completely understood how Yimo annihilated the 10,000 evil spirits. Blue Sun. Yu Eru saw the blue color and subconsciously looked in the sky. Then he saw countless evil spirits turn into dust and disappear. Master. Yu Eru immediately saw Yimo and called out in joy. Even though he was a man, his eyes grew wet. Big brother. Chang Nana rejoiced and also eased up. When she did, she spat blood immediately on the faintly fire tent. Nana, how are you with Eru and Xiaozhen? Yimo asked. Lu Xiaozhen quickly said, seeing that Chang Nana was too tired to talk and Eru was too excited to talk. Nana was searching for Zifeng near Luqiao City and we were there. Then we heard you were at Demon Prison Forbidden Grounds. Eru wanted to see you desperately, so Nana took us here. Yu Eru calmed down a little and added, yes master, I saw a lot of chi gathering cultivators come. We are Foundation Establishment State Peak Stage, so we thought we could come here too. Lu Xiaozhen looked at Jing Ingli in confusion. Jing Ingli was even a little ugly when she first looked at her, but when she looked again, she found this woman had the greatest temperament of all women she had seen. But she didn't dare to ask what the relationship between the 2 were. Chang Nana nodded with a pale face, it's so indeed. Yimo gave a pill to her, eat the pill first. Then she looked at the Li Fire Formation and asked, you can go into the Li Fire Formation, why don't you go in? The formation won't last very long, but it's much better than the Li Fire Tent. Plus, Jing Ingli knew what Yimo meant and added, if it wasn't that your Li Fire Tent is low-grade cultivation artifact and takes time to spirit control, those people would be robbing it already. Chang Nana was shook and subconsciously looked at Jing Ingli, thinking this woman was so acute in her observation. Seeing Yimo waiting for a reply, Chang Nana said without hesitation, it's not that we didn't want to stay inside, but people inside didn't want Eru and Xiaozhen to stay, so I could only come out with them. Hearing this, Yimo's face sunk. Yu Eru and Lu Xiaozhen weren't the only Foundation Establishment States. Why weren't they allowed to stay? When Yimo released Heaven Flame 9 Suns, people inside the formation saw it. When they saw countless evil spirits turn to dust and dissipate, then immediately knew that this blue sun was the kryptonite to those demonic spirits. Yimo is here. It's City Lord Yi. That woman was telling the truth. She really is from Mou City. City Lord Yi gave her a pill. In that instant, the cultivators inside the formation made out the situation and all stood far away from the cultivator who forced the 3 out. Some bold cultivators even stepped out and soon they found they were fine. With this, more cultivators stepped out. All cultivators who went out bowed to Yimo or greeted him with respect. They knew that if Yimo didn't release the blue sun, they wouldn't last very long in the formation. Sun, the hollow spirit state, found that the space around him was empty. Only his pals were with him. He heard the discussion about City Lord Yi, of course. And seeing Yimo easily melt the shadows with the blue sun, his heart skipped. There was no way he didn't regret. More and more cultivators came out. Yimo had heard Chang Nana's story, and with some cultivators sucking up to Yimo, they exaggerated the deeds of that hollow spirit state cultivator. The 2 truth realization state cultivators walked out and saluted with his fists awkwardly. Thank you, City Lord Yi. Only now do we realize the difference between you and us. Admitting the difference in front of Yimo would be enough to satisfy Yimo's ego. Piss off. Yimo yelled coldly. They went up to greet Yimo, but they were yelled to piss off. They stood at the peak of the cultivation realm, and being embarrassed in front of so many, they lost their face. But even so, the 2 hesitated and retreated to the side. They wanted to go now, but thinking of the terrifying shadows, they hesitated. The hollow spirit state also noticed something wrong and signaled to his friend to leave. But tens of steps later, he found he couldn't move. Before he could talk, Yemo's voice sounded, "You forced my MOU city people out of the formation?" Seeing Yemo tell two truth realization states to piss off, and they didn't dare to resist at all. He realized this city lord Yi was a little strange. The older cultivator next to him saluted with his fists. "City Lord Yi, this is a misunderstanding. We didn't know they were from MOU City. If we did, we wouldn't dare to do this." "Really? How come I heard you say, what is MOU City? What thing is City Lord Yi?" Someone sneered. Yemo felt strange. A disaster transformation state primary stage cultivator and a hollow spirit state cultivator dared to say what was MOU City. Was there a sect more powerful than Pill City? He didn't believe that news hasn't gone out yet. No matter what power they were from, Yemo didn't intend to ask who they were for killing Changnana and them for no reason. Suddenly the blue sun emitted a piercing blue ray. The hollow spirit state couldn't even talk and melted under the sun. Seeing the hollow spirit state cultivator melt and his body unable to take the searing heat, the disaster transformation state yelled in terror, "City Lord Yi, stop. We're from Heartless Sea Ice God Palace." Hearing this, Yemo really stopped. The hollow spirit state already disappeared. Butu, the disaster transformation state, was very withered. The cultivators under the sun just realized that the blue sun was like Yemo's domain. He could kill whomever he wanted. In that instant, the scene fell silent. A few cultivators quickly retreated from below the sun and fled out with their magic artifact. The two truth realization state cultivators saw this and left the range of the blue sun immediately. But Yemo didn't seem to see this. They can leave if they want. Only some cultivators left, most didn't leave. They knew that if Yemo wanted to kill them, he wouldn't wait till this moment. Then, the disaster transformation state called out, "You killed young Master Langyu?" Yemo was contemptuous and said, "Where's the Ice God Palace? You killed young Master Langyu, you're dead for sure, you're dead for sure. I can't live anyways." Then, the disaster transformation state rose his chi and was about to self-destruct. How could Yemo let a disaster transformation state primary stage do that in front of him? His cultivation essence giant hand patted over, and that disaster transformation state was carried over like a chicken. The hand covered the cultivator's head and searched his soul. It was absurd for a truth realization state cultivator to soul search a disaster transformation state primary stage cultivator. The memories of the disaster transformation state cultivator flowing into the truth realization state sea of consciousness would be enough for the truth realization state to go crazy. Even soul-searching a hollow spirit state would be quite tough. So seeing this, all the cultivators looked on in disbelief. They weren't at truth realization state, but it didn't mean they knew nothing. Yemo wasn't afraid of that, of course. It was a little troublesome for him, but it wouldn't injure him. He cultivated next to the bitter bamboo and had spirit sense blades. Even if some chaotic things got in his brain, he could sever them. But normally, Yemo wouldn't soul search. It wasn't a bright mean, and it wasn't good for oneself if used too much. Tens of seconds later, Yemo turned this disaster transformation state to dust and severed out the useless information from his brain before breathing. As he expected, the Ice God Palace he couldn't find was really related to this Ice God Palace. The hollow spirit state cultivator he killed was Lang Yu. The disaster transformation state was Lang Wei. Lang Wei was Lang Yu's bodyguard and was a family servant of Lang Yu. Ice God Palace was in the depth of the Heartless Sea. It was a sect that never showed itself. It was sort of like the hidden sects on Earth. However, it was powerful. 8 truth realization state cultivators. 3 were truth realization state level 9, and the Palace Lord Langyin was immeasurably powerful. The Palace Lord have always been women and must be extremely beautiful and talented. But the Palace Lord wouldn't be the daughter of the previous Palace Lord. They would be carefully selected and cultivated to be Palace Lord. There would be about 10 girls, and one would be picked amongst them. This Palace Lord Lang Yin chose a woman called Dai Yun very early. Her talent and looks were all extreme level. According to the rules of the Ice God Palace, the husband of the present Palace Lord would be the son of the previous Palace Lord. That was fine, but the current Palace Lang Yin has 3 sons. Lang Yu was the second son, but all three sons wanted Dai Yun, or they all wanted to be palace lord husband. This was a sticky situation. So, the current palace lord told her three sons that she would give everyone 10 years' time. If anyone could accomplish something that pleased her, he would be the husband of the next palace lord. Because of this, the three sons tried all sorts of means. Lang Yu came to South Peace State due to this. He just came to South Peace State and heard about the immortal demon crystals here and lost his life. In the ancient times of South Peace State, there was an extremely big sect called Ice God Palace. They were very powerful, but they offended a more powerful sect. The two sects clashed and Ice God Palace dissipated. The remaining people fled to the Heartless Sea and rebuilt the sect. After countless years, the Ice God formed the habit of not going out. Lang Yu came to find the ruins of the past Ice God Palace, and thus he came to South Peace State. If he could find it or get a few relics, he would have overwhelming advantage over his two brothers. When he saw there was even Qi gathering cultivators going into Demon Prison Forbidden Grounds, he immediately felt contemptuous towards South Peace State, thinking South Peace State cultivation level was far weaker than Ice God Palace. It was because of this that he said what was Mou City and was burned by Yi Mo's heaven flame. While Yi Mo was digesting this information, Yu Eru and Lu Xiaoazhen were shook. They didn't expect Yi Mo was powerful to this extent. A cultivator more powerful than Nana can't even last a second in his hands. Yi Mo told two truth realization states to piss off, and they really didn't dare to say anything. Thinking that he would have cultivation method for higher states, Eru was very excited. No matter what he wanted to cultivate to a degree like master. Lu Xiaozhen knew what Yu Eru thought and grabbed his hand. She knew that the reason Eru couldn't keep cultivating wasn't because his talent was bad. It was because he didn't want to change his cultivation method. He said that his master taught him his cultivation method, so he couldn't change no matter what. If it was Yi Mo, he wouldn't think like Yu Eru. He would definitely change a cultivation method to continue cultivation. But even if he did, he might not be able to reach Golden Core State. It wasn't easy for an solo cultivator to reach Golden Core State without good fortune. Yi Mo saluted with his fists to the cultivators who haven't left yet. I just came here. I want to ask, where did Mou City Silver Moon Pill King go? I know, I saw Silver Moon Pill King go west with Guantian Pill King, a cultivator said. Suddenly, the two truth realization state cultivators who left rushed back air. Yi Mo didn't need to ask. He saw Silver Moon Pill King with a few hundred cultivators rushing over here. Yi Mo quickly run, it's not demonic spirits here. It's evil spirits. Silver Moon Pill King saw Yi Mo and called out. Shan Bingfeng and them also flew over with magic artifact. Since Silver Moon Pill King knows about evil spirits, he clearly knows to use rare flames against them. Yi Mo wanted to ask why they were running, but when he saw the countless black figures chase over, he knew this was too many for them. Plus, they couldn't see them with their spirit sense at all. At the same time, Yi Mo released the second son of Heaven Flame 9 Sons. His red sun wasn't that powerful, but he didn't dare to ease up against this many evil spirits.